Welcome back to the NACE Starleague studio. We're here for another week of Rocket League Varsity. We have 8 teams that are going to compete today as we are nearing the finals playoff season. We're getting closer and closer to it, and teams are starting to settle at the top and low of the brackets. We got some pretty fierce fights to get those top spots in the bracket lined up for you today. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer. I'm joined by Artemis Ring. We'll call all of the action for you as the matches go on. And Artie, first off, I just want to acknowledge we finally made it to your favorite time of year. Spooky season is officially on us, and we've got kind of a great opening to kind of celebrate the start of that. We've got a team, Oklahoma Christian, going up against Colorado College. And if we're looking at the rankings for these teams, Oklahoma Christian would seem to be the favorite, but Colorado College has shown that they can pull off some upset wins. So what does a team need to do in that position in order to pull off upset wins?
Well, definitely you need to focus on maintaining ball possession when you do have control. And then additionally, making sure that your passes are very, close and tight. You're not going for lob balls between each other. They're crossing multiple meters. And then lastly, play for the backboard. It's a lot of times where we see teams don't play for the follow-up, or they're not going for backboard defense. And that's easy opportunities to either get a breakaway play from making a save, or for a give and go off the backboard to actually secure a goal.
Let's take a closer look at the actual schedule that we have lined up for us. The 4 matches that we will highlight today, we're going to be starting off with Oklahoma Christian versus Colorado College. Then we're going to be moving to RIT versus Thomas.
After that, we'll have Mary Washington taking on Florida Tech, and closing up the night, we'll have George Mason taking on Siena Heights.
And let's take a closer look at the first match that we have, the players that will be highlighted, and the individual records for the teams. Oklahoma Christian, if I am not mistaken, currently sits at 3-0. The Eagles going to be made up of Chili, G-Man, and Chicken.
And then for the other side of Colorado College, we have Slime to Lime, Nuki, and Ya to round out that roster. No substitutes this week for either of these teams, so these are the 3 we're starting with, and the 3 we will roll with all the way through this entire best-of-5 series.
Colorado College just trailing Oklahoma Christian in terms of placement, is currently sitting at 2-1. We are in week 5, but both these teams had a bye, so overall there have been 4 games played between, and I believe there's a bit of a tie for first place, and Colorado College is just barely hanging on to the playoff possibility range at 2-1. After that in the division, there's kind of like a steep drop-off of teams, so Colorado College is just hanging on for dear life at their hopes of making it to playoffs.
Well, hopefully that pressure doesn't get too excessive on them. We understand, of course, you want to make it into playoffs. There's always opportunities to go to LCQ. LCQ is not always a situation you want to be in, but if you have to play for it, you got to play for it and just play to the best that you can. However, right now, when you're teetering on that ledge, close to the drop-off, as Jacob would put it, well, you just have to play to the best of your abilities and make sure you go into every single one of these games and leave everything on that virtual field, knowing you played the best that you possibly could. We
will play this in our standard best of 5. Gives players a little bit of a chance to kind of get used to the other team, but not too much. It's kind of that sweet spot. Sometimes in a best of 3, if you don't know the other team, they can really come out to a huge lead, and then you're up against match point and you have to adjust. Best of 7 is kind of a player's favorite. I got to highlight player's favorite, not caster's favorite, because, man, your voice will get tired at the very end. But best of 7 is kind of a player's favorite for being able to adjust to the other team, because you got a lot of time to try to see their strategies. Best of 5 combines a little of both.
I think best of 7 is a player's favorite when you only have to do that once in a day. However, when you do that multiple times in a day, it becomes your Achilles heel. Best of 5, yes, very much to that sweet spot, and we typically end up calling it the Rocket League Classic best of 3 because first 2 games kind of go back and forth, or by the time we hit that 3rd game, the other team starts to reverse sweep, and then no matter what, we have to play it out. And those are always the situations we like to look forward to because it means teams are actually making adjustments. They are changing on the fly and analyzing what they're going up against in those short 5-minute periods that they get and the 1 minute that they have between each game.
Before we get to the first game, we've been going over kind of just some of the fundamentals of the game, and you really kind of laid out the primaries just in a bullet point list. I would say in terms of a secondary thing that I often look for is boost management and in terms of utility, especially if you're able to steal the other team's hundreds away from them. I mean, it doesn't happen as often as, say, a follow-up play would have a significant impact, but it happens enough where I see a player who's elevated up, they're trying to get a flip reset, keep their play going, and then they just drop out of the air like a stone. And once you see that, you see it not only when they're carrying the ball, but you see it in terms of defenders and goalies who can't elevate up. It just is really crucial in the game. So I'm going to be looking kind of like for that telltale Hindenburg recreation to see if these teams are managing their boost all right.
Yes, if those corner boosts or even the midfield boosts are getting stolen, you can definitely tell a team starts to suffer. They lag behind a little bit, following up on breakaway opportunities or even wide clears that are made by from their team if they're from the defensive to the offensive position becomes more difficult, as you'll see the team that was on offense rotate back very fast in comparison if they've been managing to steal those boost pads. So if we do see that sort of situation happening and we see the play sort of die down, or Hindenburg as you put it at the midfield line, then you know that something is up. The boosts are being taken away from the defenders and the offensive team is being very oppressive in the pressure that they are creating by stealing those boost pads.
Oklahoma Christian will be the Eagles. Colorado College will be the Tigers. Once again, this is the first of our 4 matches. Very important match to see who is going to secure a place. I would say Oklahoma Christian already at undefeated, a 3-0 victory today for them would almost certainly, secure them a spot. If I remember correctly, I said they were tied for first. I think there's like 3 teams tied up in the West Central 2 division. So,
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
there's 2 teams are 3-0 and 1 team's 3-1. So, because some teams get byes when others don't. So, it's still very competitive for the top spot. And there's just that sliver outside chance. Colorado College, if this was a traditional sport, we would say they're the wild card. This would be the wild card match to get who gets in the playoffs.
Wild cards, that is not a term that I see used very often, though it is applicable in esports. It happens a lot. However, I will say that despite the status of having to be the wild card in this situation, you definitely have demonstrated that you are a good team. They're not at the bottom of the rung. They are not at the drop-off just yet. So they are still struggling to find footing. But right now they're managing to maintain where they're at. They just need to elevate themselves just a little bit higher. And I really think, hopefully, that they've taken the weekend leading up to this point to VOD review or even looked at the VODs for the teams that they're going up against this week and are able to use that to their advantage. VOD reviewing is very powerful. You can see what teams lack and what their weaknesses are. So hopefully they are able to use that information to their advantage as we go into the first full game of today.
Colorado College really burst onto the scene in week 1. They had a matchup against Bushnell and kind of pulled out an unexpected victory against them. It did go all 5 games, but that first victory really kind of propelled them into actually being a contender. The one problem is that across all of the divisions and all of the matches that you'll see today, the top teams are just undefeated. There are some that are just rolling right through. In fact, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler. Not only are the 2 teams for match 2, which is going to come up, are undefeated, but neither of them have dropped a single game. It has been a perfect sweep for every single match for round 2. So if that just gets you an idea of the caliber of the teams competing today.
No pressure whatsoever on any team that has to go up against a team that is currently undefeated, as we tried to mention in the early weeks. But at this point, if you've maintained an undefeated record, that's actually quite incredible. Honestly, hats off to you guys. Lots of teams do start dropping the ball at this point, especially start getting, further into the semester. You got to focus on other things. Your gaming expertise might fall behind a little bit to your grades, but hopefully you've found the balance between, practicing Rocket League and doing your homework, because it's very important that you do complete your classes for maintaining the opportunity to compete in NACE.
Yeah, and it's starting to get down to the wire, too, where that time management has to really come in. No more just, hey, the assignment for today is read the syllabus kind of thing. No, it's now getting, the projects are starting to stack up.
Or you've hit the first, what I call day of reckoning, which is the first quarter of grades. Quarter quells also is what I refer to them when I had to deal with it. You're a quarter of the way through the semester, it's time for the first exam season, and every exam is happening on the exact same week. You're stressed out, and hopefully you're finding a time to sleep in those instances, because the sleep deprivation, not taking care of yourself, definitely does end up showing up in your gameplay, despite what most gamers think those late hours of playing Rocket League can impact you the next day.
I like the term that you use, quarter quell, for it, because it's also around the same time that the last chance to withdraw and get a W instead of it affecting your GPA. So really, a lot of people do drop around this time as well. It's very thematic.
Well, hopefully none of the players are hitting that point where they feel like they need to drop out of classes, because that is never a situation any of your teammates want to deal with. I know some schools are very on top of talking to their talking to their players, and make sure players are talking amongst themselves to make sure no one's caught off guard when a teammate randomly drops. Thankfully, it's not something I believe we've really had to experience in-house, but it is something that other teams have had to deal with. You have to make adjustments and roster changes on the fly, and those do impact your team's capability to have successful games.
And here's just a little bit look into the world that we have. These are the standings across all of the regions. Right now, we can see the first. Four Eastern divisions as well. I believe East 4 that you see at the bottom of your screen, that'll be highlighted in match 4. Actually, we'll have George Mason going up against Seattle Heights. But you can see, Nerdy, what I was talking about. A lot of the teams 4-0, 4-0, 3-0, 3-0 at the top. A lot of the number one positions are three-way ties in a lot of the divisions that we see.
So it's really going to come down to the wire between those teams who's going to make it into the playoffs, because remember, it's top 2 from each division that do have the opportunity to go, and then everyone else is stuck in last chance qualifiers. But considering these teams are all at 4-0, we're going to have to dig deep into the rule books, and the league operators are going to have to figure out how they get to cope with that situation, because having 3 teams tied for first, do you send all 3 to playoffs? Are you praying that one team ends up losing a game? Well, you'll have to wait and see. But if they have borderline perfect records, that's going to be a rough contender for any team trying to fight for that opportunity to make it to playoffs.
I know you play Magic, and when you said dig into the real books, you gave me so many flashbacks. Judge, I need my judge here. Anyway, can we get an official ruling on this? It shows how competitive it is, though, when you can be undefeated in your division and you still haven't clinched playoffs because so many other teams are undefeated.
Yeah, typically, it's your safety. Like, we're doing great. We haven't dropped the game. We're fine. But then, your director, your coach comes in and says, yeah, about that. We're tied for first in a 3-way tie, so we might as well be, we could also be 3rd place at the same time, or 2nd, maybe 1st. That's never really a situation you want to go into, especially if you are, like I know most gamers experience, just a little bit of heightened anxiety when it comes to some things. Hearing it's not guaranteed, despite us doing everything in our power to guarantee it, probably not a situation you want to put yourself into.
And let's just go a little bit more in detail about the current situation with these current teams standing. You have Oklahoma Christian at 3-0, Colorado College sitting at 2-1. You have to think, if Colorado College wins, they'll go to 3-1. They'll knock a 3-0 team down to 3-1. So this isn't probably going to be a match that puts Colorado College into first place because there are other undefeated teams, but it puts them into a really solid second, and all of a sudden they're looking at a chance to go to playoffs.
Yes, it puts you in contention for that playoff spot. Granted, the safety approach, which is, the trying to have hope but also prepare for the worst, is fight for that 2nd place spot, secure that 2nd place spot. At this point in time, you're like, okay, we are not in contention for first, but we can put ourselves securely in 2nd place. Let's fight for that opportunity. Let's fight to stay out of LCQ. That's really what you need to be looking at right now if you're not one of the teams that's in a 3-way tie for first place.
It's hard to believe that we've gotten this far, but we are more than halfway through. A lot of these teams have maybe 2 or 3 weeks of matches left, so now's the time to make a move, and the time is now. Oklahoma Christian Eagles going up against Colorado College Tigers. Let's head down to the virtual field and see how things are going to shake out in this best of 5. Will the Eagles remain undefeated, or will Colorado College pull off another upset? And immediately, wasting no time whatsoever, Oklahoma Christian gets the first goal.
It was G-Man to find the first opportunity to get into the back of the net. You can see there was a rush back from Colorado to attempt to meet them, but no one could elevate nor beat the pace that was set forth by Oklahoma Christian. Off kickoff, it's going to pop into the defensive third for Colorado College. Off the wall, it's stolen away and served right back to midfield. However, is going to be booped away from possession. We have G-Man once again clearing across midfield stripe. There's 2 defenders in the way. It hits the top crossbar, and it is going to be pinched into the corner. Again, going for possession. Be pinched in a 50-50 towards the ceiling. Drop down at mid. Another 50-50. Chili is going to be exploded. Hits the top crossbar. Follow-up from Chicken. And that's another goal for Oklahoma Christian.
This is the reason why one of your tips was play for the backboard right here. It technically bounced off the crossbar, but those follow-ups can be so brutal. Nuki or Slime would have had to come in and be the defender. They were just a little bit too late on the rotation. That's another goal for Oklahoma Christian.
Also why you play for the backboard defense, not just the backboard follow-up. Everyone was on the ground, but we have a shot from mid, ricochet off the top crossbar. 3 people up on that back wall, like flies with the side of Oklahoma Christian. It is successful, but comes in, double commit from defense, is going to save the ball, goes to mid slide. The line tries to do a pass to their teammate, but Chicken cuts in, steals it for a moment. Nuki has an opportunity to center it to his teammate, has pressure from G-Man. G-Man finds the clear to midfield.
Give a little bit of breathing room to the Eagles, but redirect into the goal. They weren't seeing that anywhere.
What was that angle?
That is absolutely insane. Everyone else already was at half field. Closest was G-Man. Couldn't elevate quick enough. Man, that's an insane redirect. Puts Colorado College up to 1. Oklahoma Christian is still ahead by 1 goal, but it is truly anybody's game.
We have Elevate collides with one of the offense, and then we have Nuki collide with Chili to prevent the shot on goal from Chili. Chicken tries to come in and regain possession, will not make contact. Ball at midfield stripe. G-Man redirects to Chili. Chili tries to get a touch. Nuke sends it across the midfield to Ya has their opportunity stolen away, plays it off the wall. Unfortunately, it's going to go back to Nuki at midfield stripe. Tries to bounce off the wall away from Chili. Chili touches it forward. Slime to line, looking for possession. Has 3 players stacked in front of them. Going to get cleared over to the opposite side. Still defensive third for Colorado College. G-Man cuts in, steals it away, plays it off the backboard. We have 2 from Oklahoma almost collide. Neither make contact with the ball. It's cleared across midfield stripe into Oklahoma's defensive third.
Demo onto G-Man, helps clear out the goal for Slime. Puts it in there to find the equalizer. This is exactly what I said. You look at the stats and you think, oh, well, Oklahoma Christian would run away with this, but no. Colorado College has been in this situation before in their first week matchup against Bushnell. They can pull off another upset victory here in week 5.
Typically, that 2-goal lead is what you look for. Oklahoma Christian had it very early on. However, Colorado College has come in and squashed that lead. We are now tied 0-0. No team has the clear opportunity to be victorious in this game as we're closing down on the second half of this first game. Chicken off the back wall, brings it to mid, has it stolen away by Ya. Ya is still waiting for midfield stripe. Slime to line, pitches the wall off the ball off the back wall. Nuki's going to decide to demo Chicken, but G-Man has it. There's no one in front of G-Man. The shot is not on target. They get demoed instead by Slime to line. Ya from midfield touches the ball into the air. Elevation from Slime to line. No one else is elevating, but Chili off the back wall sends it to G-Man. Who has to beat Ya out to make it to midfield, and Ya cuts in, stealing it away. Ball ends up with Chicken.
More than halfway through, all of Colorado College is trapped in this corner, and Chili capitalizes on it, drives it in, and puts the Eagles back up to a lead. Just an unfortunate bit of positioning on the side of the Tigers. It can be risky if you find yourself in just all in one half of the arena, let alone all in one fourth.
Getting corralled into one area, you need to have spatial control. Not really something we see people struggle with. However, we have a breakaway play from G-Man. Gets thwarted by Slime to line. Slime to line has to battle around Chili. Chili steals the ball away. Ya gets a touch, tries to send it to Nuki. Nuki doesn't make contact. G-Man brings it up the wall. Looks to play it down and dunk it off the ground. Cannot do it. Loses possession after too many touches. Nuki touches the ball into the corner. It's going to be Chicken breaking away, but Chili has to get this ball over to Chicken. It's Chicken and Chili, but unfortunately the food combo doesn't come in clutch.
A whiff on that clear from Nuki doesn't quite get it back into the Eagles' territory. Ya's going to get a touch on it, though. It's heading toward the goal. Chicken is going to be able to elevate up, push it off to the side. Nuki, the got beat to it by Chili. He's going to try for a centering, is going to demo Ya. Now another demo in the goal. What an offensive play. Chili just went absolutely ballistic with one and then picks up second on Slime, completely leaving the goal open. I haven't seen a demo play that pretty in a long time.
We're taking down to the last minute and 15 seconds here for game number 1, and Chicken is going to find a hat trick. That's 3 goals, our first hat trick of the day, going over to Oklahoma.
Nice standard follow-up. Tigers pushed a bit too far forward. 1 minute, 14 seconds. It was very competitive up until a few seconds ago, and now Oklahoma Christian has opened up a comfortable lead for themselves.
Once again, leading by 2. We have Nuke played off the ground, lose possession. Chili's going to try to snag it off the wall. Does not make contact. Whip on the aerial as well. G-Man just touched the ball towards the ground. Chicken pushes it into the corner. It's above the yellow goal. Yub plays it back into the corner. It's going to be Nuki to try and follow it up. G-Man's going to come in to create pressure. G-Man does not make contact. Nuki carries it into the corner, gets demoed by Chili instead. Chicken plays it around one offensive player, plays it around 2, has the teammates, but that's a 3-man triple forward commit. That's Chicken finding another goal for Oklahoma Christian.
That makes the overall score for this game 6-2, and things are really snowballing in favor of the Eagles. Probably going to have to write this one off for the Tigers and just have a little bit of a team chat, figure out what went so well in the first half of the game that we were matching them shot for shot, and try to replicate that in game 2. We still have a half a minute of game 1 left. Double commit from Oklahoma Christian trying to push the ball forward. Gives a bit of an opening to the Tigers. G-Man gets a touch, followed up by who gets demoed. Chili also pushes it up into the air. Slime is only going to be able to push it to the corner. And another demo going on to Colorado College.
The anger is being channeled. Those 2 goals happen too fast for the side of Colorado to try to surmount. So this is okay, let's just make sure the goal gap doesn't get any worse. With a whip on contact from Chicken. 3 seconds remaining. Has no one to beat, but at the last second, G-Man cuts in. It's going to be off the back wall. Slime the line tries to go for the redirect. Ball finally hits the ground. Oklahoma Christian walks away with a game 1 victory.
I don't believe I've ever seen a team that has not only has been able to get so many demos in such a short amount of time, but they're calculated in their demos. It's not just demos for demos' sake. There are multiple times during that game where they were able to clear out the goal. Normally, teams they don't get a lot of demos, but the one demo they do get, it's very crucial in helping them win a goal, or they get a lot of demos that aren't consequential. Oklahoma Christian is both.
Yes, they decide, okay, I'm going supersonic. My teammate has possession. I see someone in the goal, you might make contact. Okay, I'm going to make sure you cannot make contact. That is calculated demolitions, and there are players that will go for the demolition game, as Jacob mentioned, but either they're doing one of 2 things, which is they're just demoing offhand, as he mentioned, or they're demoing and putting themselves out of the play. In this instance, Oklahoma is staying in the play because they're in front of their teammate with ball possession, and they're right in front of the goal, demoing whoever's trying to defend that goal.
But again, I also said that I don't want the last 2 minutes of that game to be the main takeaway everybody has, because for the first half of that game, looked like Colorado College was really making a run at it. They actually did find themselves in the lead for a short amount of time to start off game 1. So maybe they have a few tricks up their sleeve, and hopefully if during the downtime they've been able to recognize the danger from Oklahoma Christian's demos, there are definitely ways to play around a demo-heavy strategy. So we're off to the first kickoff. It's going to be heading into midfield. G-Man up on the wall looking for a touch, pushes it toward the goal, saved by Now Colorado College going to be looking for their first clear. Gets 1 touch on it, runs right into Chili. Ball heads over to the other side of the field. 50-50, won by Nuki. Now pass over to Shot on goal is saved by Chili.
Chili pushes it forward, ball to Chicken. Chicken gives it to Chili, who elevates in the corner, tries to pitch it off their nose. It is going to be redirected by Nuke. It's gliding across the ceiling. Pushes it forward to the defensive third for Oklahoma Christian. Collision from offense and defense allows the open opportunity to find it. Clear net, and that's the first goal over towards
Colorado College gets the win. At least a temporary one. Not the win for the whole game, but every goal they got to be patting themselves on the back, because Oklahoma Christian has been a team that hasn't been thwarted in the season thus far. Quick play by They tried to fake him out on the kickoff, but just called their bluff, got the first touch for himself. Back pass by G-Man over to Chicken. Back to G-Man, tries to get a touch on it, spikes it down into the ground. Chicken will get another touch. For all this aerial passing, they haven't made too much forward momentum, however. 50-50 is going to go in favor of Oklahoma Christian. Save by Slime to Lime. Now heading back over toward Oklahoma Christian's goal. Ball is a bit high to make a shot on goal. G-Man's going to carry it back over to Colorado College.
Pushes the ball to midfield stripe.
Oh.
He goes for the redirect. There's a demo on to
Get
Chili.
it.
The goal is open, and Nuke sees it. Nuki. That's another goal to Colorado College.
And the reason I was so excited cheering for them to get it is that exactly the playbook that Oklahoma Christian used against Colorado College. And so I guess what's good for one team is good for another. Clear out the goalie, score a quick goal. Colorado College now leading by 2.
Very similar, but the opposite side of the coin from what we had in game number 1. The question is, will Oklahoma Christian return in kind with 2 goals themselves? That's what we saw. 2 goals from one, 2 goals from the other, and then it closed out with Oklahoma finding 2 more, and could not. Colorado could not respond. Now we have G-Man battling for possession, leaves it for Chicken. Chicken gets a pass line to line. Chicken goes to Chili. Chili has G-Man going forward as well. We have 50-50 pinch towards the ceiling, goes back towards midfield. Nuke plays it around Chicken. It's just G-Man there. But G-Man creates enough distraction to force it off the back wall. We have an attempted follow-up touch. It gets thwarted. Now G-Man has Chili, has Chicken bolt the go-to, plays it off the back wall. Chili gets demoed. Nuke goes for the pinch. No contact is made from anybody in the corner. Yug goes for the challenge. There's a follow-up touch from Slinderline. Sends it to Nuke. Nuke gets another touch. It's going to go to the back wall, but Chili is there with the backboard defense. The ball goes to Yug to take another shot. Chicken elevates. Sends it to midfield. Nuki will pop the ball towards the ceiling.
A lot of side control. Oh, they bit off more than they could deal with. I was just about to comment that there was a moment where Oklahoma Christian's goal was left wide open, pushing too forward. Well, that problem applies to both teams. An open goal scored. Now Colorado College is still in the lead, but it's a lot more tenuous with only a 1 goal. Kickoff. Slime is going to get the follow-up on it. Gets a bit of territory gained off of it. Chili goes up against Ya. The ball is spiked up into mid-air. Shot toward the goal, and just like that, in less than 30 seconds, we are tied up.
2 goals, we're tied. It's a 0-0 game.
Well, I was thinking for sure that Colorado College might have found what they needed to stay in the lead, but we've basically reset the game entirely. We're at halftime. 2 apiece, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. This is how it played out last time in game 1. Still pretty close, but the question is, will Oklahoma Christian get the breakaway landslide of goals that they got in game 1? Right now, Chili's going to get a touch, push it over toward G-Man. Ball is set up. Chicken's going to put a shot on goal. Beautifully aimed, and the Eagles are in the lead.
Almost as though some of the defense got a little lost in this moment. Nuki gets the pinch, and then we have 2 defenders both commit. On the ground, one Slinderline finally decides to go up off that back wall, but they didn't have enough speed behind them to make contact and prevent that goal from going in. Now Oklahoma Christian leading by 1 with 10 minutes remaining.
Chili elevates up. It's a touch, pushes it off to the side. Oh yeah, quick redirect! Man, I think Chili, I need to see that play just one more time. Chili had a shot. Oh, very quick move. Very quick move. That had to be a split-second call-out. Great communication by Colorado College. They're not going to be counted out of this. We're tied 3 apiece now.
Kickoff favors Oklahoma Christian. Nuki steals it, has 2 on them.
Oh,
G-Man with nick of time to make the save. Ball drops off the ceiling. Back to G-Man. Tries to give to Chicken. Chicken doesn't make it. We have, once again, ball crossing midfield. Slinderline tries to redirect. Chicken makes contact, sends it to Chili. Chili pops the ball up. Chicken is waiting. Give and go over to Chili as Chicken gets demoed. Chili's ball hits the ceiling, goes off the backboard. Demo onto G-Man. Slinderline has the opportunity to bring this across midfield. Finds it. Has a teammate. Teammate's getting bumped and booped away, and G-Man finds the clear to midfield. Stripe. Chicken will elevate the challenge. Yeah, makes contact. Nuke clears it into the corner. Chili looking for the challenge against Nuke's possession. Finds it, ball picked towards the ceiling. Chili will elevate, climb the line, doesn't make contact, sends it to G-Man. G-Man loses possession to Ya, who now is going to elevate. Has Nuke waiting for a give and go. Unfortunately, Ya puts his ball too far forward. Nuke makes contact. Gets the flip reset even in there, but loses possession again. Climb the line, tries to turn it into a goal scoring opportunity. Ball still in the defensive third of Oklahoma Christian.
we are still tied up at 3 apiece with less than a minute to go now. Chili's going to try to center it. Slime's going to say no to that. Chicken is going to stop the ball from going past mid. Pass it over to G-Man. Try to follow up. He just didn't have enough speed to get to the ball. So Slime Delime's going to take that opportunity to clear the ball back over for Colorado. Ya's position back on the field is going to have to take it away from Chicken. Gets a touch on it, but Chili is right there with the backup. Now plays off the ceiling, down and a bit wide to the right. He's going to push it off into the corner. Another follow-up attempted by G-Man. He finds the goal, bounces off the bottom of the crossbar and spiked down into the goal.
Chili almost messed up that goal.
Almost. But with how fast Oklahoma Christian is playing, how quickly they can get shots on goal, it really forces the Tigers to be extremely fast on their rotations. And Slime Lime's going to be fast on getting this goal. Cow. We are tied back up again.
Hang on. Look at this. This is threading the needle if I've ever seen it. G-Man's right there. He manages to, Chicken, unfortunately, I think because it was that awkward V between those two, allowed for the ball to redirect towards Slime Line, and Slime Line got that extra touch to get the ball into the back of the net.
It is a knockdown, drag him out fight to the very end, and the ball just might trickle in.
No way.
That's how they win. win it! Colorado College goes into the lead with less than 10.
I'm sorry, but holy cow. This is a moment where you just walked over your own Claymore in Call of Duty.
You know what? A win is a win. I'm sure Colorado College will take it. They fought so furiously so many times. It looked like the Eagles would open it up, and we're tied again, 5 apiece. Chicken getting a hat trick. This is insane.
Okay, that was a dog pile at midfield, almost as though everybody was a little confused on who should go for kickoff. We all know the rules. Left goes. 4 seconds remaining. Are we going to have a quad commit on kickoff? Nope, just normal. It's in the air. Now we're in golden goal territory. Are we going to get it before the buzzer goes off, or are we going to get it in official overtime is the question. Looks like sends us to overtime regardless.
1 goal wins. This kickoff very important, and Chile gets a clear win on it, but Slime is right there to follow it up. Chicken just waiting on the wall to get a touch on it. He comes around, doesn't manage to center it. Chile plays off the wall. Oklahoma Christian playing this a little bit slow. Now goes for the clear G-Man with great acrobatics. Flip reset toward the goal. It gets blocked at the very end, but the rebound, the follow-up, clinches it for the Eagles.
Double offense commit in the corner to make sure that ball is sent back towards the goal. If I don't hit it, you hit it. And that's going to be game 2 going to Oklahoma Christian.
I don't know when's the last time I've seen a game be equalized that many times in short succession. That was absolutely insane. I thought for sure when the Tigers got into a lead 5-4 with only 10 seconds left. I mean, at that point, you win the first kickoff, you get a good bit of side control, and you got it. There's no way for the 3rd time that this game can be tied up again.
Well, I mean, there is, the whole reason why I say the game's not over till it's over. It's not GG until the victory screen pops up, or defeat if you're on the receiving end of the loss. But, I mean, that just goes to show you cannot count a team down and out until that timer's at 0.
Well, for Colorado College, they basically matched their performance in the first half of Game 1, but it was all the way through Game 2. So they're really getting in their groove. It's just the question, Oklahoma Christian is just that good, that topped ranked, that undefeated, and they could end it in a 3-0 sweep, something that is not unfamiliar to them in any way whatsoever. Head on down to Game 3. After a game like that, also, you got to wonder if it just takes so much out of you, of the game going that long, that, can you dust yourself back off, reset your mentals, and get back to the task at hand? I really hope Colorado College can do, because it would be a shame if they put all this work in and didn't walk away with at least one taken away from the Eagles.
Mental stability, I think, is the hallmark of every good esports player, regardless of what game you play. And it looks like, Colorado almost gave up a first early goal. G-Man not giving up just yet on the opportunity. It does have that shot taken away finally. Off of midfield, it's cleared once again back towards the defensive third for Colorado College. However, now it's in Oklahoma's defensive third territory. And Slime to Lime is looking to set it up for a teammate, just bumping and pushing people out of the way. But Chile ends up with the ball. We do see Nuki's going to get demoed off respawn. Nuki has to cut in fast to make the save, finds it, sends it over to the side, but not out of their defensive third just yet. In the corner, leaves it for Nuki. Nuki has to get it around Chile. Chile snags the ball, pops it into the air, plays it off the corner, has Chicken for the give and go, and Chicken finds the back of the goal.
Oklahoma Christian took a bit longer for them that time to get their first goal, but they have gotten themselves back into the lead. Second time also, has been good on the timing of his rotations. He's gotten back into the goal at the time he needs to. It's just the shots from the Eagles come through so fast that those 180-degree turns that he needs to pull off on a dime have just been a bit too slow. 4 minutes. Gonna try to center it. Shot gonna go through from Slime, but it is way too high. Demo onto Chicken. Yuki takes it back. Gets the side control back for Colorado College. Pass over to plays it above one of the Eagles. Ball is high in the air, slowly heading toward the other corner. Centered again, over to Chicken. They went up too far, and off the crossbar. Follow up by Chile. Puts the Eagles in an even bigger lead now.
when you ask me what we should look for. Punishing the overcommit is definitely one of those things.
Oklahoma Christian, there's been a few times they've overcommitted as well, but it hasn't been as much as the Tigers.
Whoa.
Almost every single time the Tigers overcommit, Oklahoma Christian just dives right in. Well, Ya's going to do a back pass to his own goal, off the backboard, off to the corner. And the Tigers find their clear. Pass over to Chicken. Back to G-Man. Chicken again to the center. Slime takes it 50-50 in favor of Chili. Back pass to Chicken. But no, Oklahoma Christian not playing quite as fast and as they did last time, but they're in a 2-goal lead, so they can just cruise on, or they can't. Oh,
What is going on?
what even was
What
that?
is- what?
That was wide open. That could have not been more gift wrapped for you if you asked.
That is a child that received a gift from Santa and said, I don't want this. It's not the Barbie this is not my Barbie dream house that I wanted. Sends it right back to the store.
Well, Oklahoma Christian, maybe they're just comfortable with that 2-goal lead. I'm not sure, but they're going to go past midway. 2 minutes, 30 seconds into the lead. Shot back by the Tigers. Shot toward the goal. It is slow, however. Chicken has his eyes set on that. Tigers also ran out of boost, so they got to go back and refill. Oklahoma Christian chases the ball back over. He now ready to take the ball. Yeah, in the passing lane. Chicken takes it away from them. Chili follow-up shot off the wall. It's heading toward the goal. It's a bit high, though. They're not going to follow up on that. Oklahoma Christian just kind of mainly playing a game of keep away.
In the corner, Chicken and G-Man and Chili all together. Have a ball at midfield. No one from the side of Colorado College has decided to make contact or challenge possession away from one of the Oklahoma Christian players. Off the back wall, Nuki finds the clear, sends it to midfield. Nuki fortunately loses possession of Chicken, who's going to elevate. Has G-Man off the wall trying to distract Ya. Ya reads through it. Sees the opportunity, gets it to midfield. Slime pitches it off of Chili into the corner. It's G-Man to bring it back up in the air. Looks for a clear into the back corner. Colorado College defensive third. It's sent right back by Slime to line, who has Nuki in the cherry-picking position, but the angle is not right. Can't get into the back of the net just yet. G-Man off the wall. Slows the ball down, trying to give it to Chili. It's bumped back to midfield stripe. Nuke takes the touch, sends it to Ya, who's challenged by G-Man, but Ya finds the angle and the shot with 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining. They are once again in striking distance of equalizing this game.
Missed by G-Man, and Chicken had his eyes on that the whole time, but let it go past him. 1 minute, 7 seconds left. Colorado College within 1 goal of tying this up. Line going to try to take it away from G-Man. G-Man plays around him. Ball just needs to be spiked down into the goal. Not going to find it yet, but oh, I thought maybe it would just find a way in there. But nope, we're sub 1 minute now in time, and oh, if he could have played past G-Man, it would have been an open goal. Is Ya going to be there? Yes, he is. Pass it back, open goal now. Just let that go in. I was so worried that the similar situation that Oklahoma Christian had a few minutes ago, where the goal was wide open and they knocked it out of the way, it happened to Colorado College, but no.
Credit to Nuki trying to make sure that the ball wasn't going to go in unless they made contact with it, not trying to steal their teammates' cross that goal. I give credit, but you gave us anxiety.
Oh,
Just like that shot gave us anxiety.
More anxiety is on the tables. We're all tied up.
No,
G-Man ready to follow it in, and the Eagles go back into a lead. Absolutely ruthless with just 30 seconds left on the timer.
Nobody on that back wall, so G-Man got 3 touches in a row.
8 seconds left in game number 1. I mean, game number 3. What am I? After as close these games, my mind's turning to mush. I apologize. It is, in fact, match point for Oklahoma Christian. Is going to win that 50-50, but more than winning 50-50s, they need to get a goal here to possibly drive this to overtime. It's possible with the ball in the Eagles' territory. It's going to head off to the side. Chili's going to pass it back over the center. Nuki almost punished it. And now one last shot by Slime, but it's not going to go through. Ball's going to touch the ground, and Oklahoma Christian sweeps it and wins 3-0 in the overall best-of-5 series.
That was really close. And when you were saying your brain's turning to mush, I was going to So are you saying it's turning to slime?
If you could, yes. But I didn't want to. I didn't, you don't want to, highlight one specific player. And I don't think you could because Oklahoma Christian, even though they beat Colorado College, man, I saw the Tigers play their heart out. And a 3-0 doesn't do justice to the plays that they did this game.
Honestly, I feel as though Colorado, even if they don't secure the automatic shoe into playoffs by being top 2, their demonstration today shows that they have a chance in LCQ. Yes, it's going to be hard, but you're not going to be going up against teams that are undefeated the entire time. You're going to go against teams that are closer to your own level. Then from there on, once you make it out of LCQ into playoffs, yes, it gets difficult. However, I do think if they can perform like they did today and just make a couple of adjustments, they have a shot at making it back into playoffs.
Before we go to our break, we want to give a shout out and thank you to our sponsors of NACE Starleague over at Truth, the largest public health organization dedicated to a future where vaping and nicotine addiction is a thing of the past. For more information about the effects of vaping on your mental health, you can go to breathofstressair.com. Thank you, Truth, for sponsoring NACE Starleague. And we are going to head into a break, but as always during breaks, we always like to talk to the winning team. So we might just have an interview for you in a few minutes. But we will take a short break, take a breath, go out and stretch, take a sip of water, and then get back here because we'll have an interview right after this. 3 weeks of matches left, so now's the time to make a move, and the time is now. Oklahoma Christian Eagles go against Colorado College Tigers. Let's get off to the side. New beat got beat to it by Chili. He's going to try for a centering. Welcome back to the NACE Starleague studio. We just saw game 1 where Oklahoma Christian picked up a win against Colorado College. We've got one of the players from the Eagles ready to talk to us. We've got Chili joining us in the studio. Hi, thank you so much for joining us. And it looks like we'll get Chili in a second because I definitely want to talk to him after that kind of game that we just saw. For a game that was 3 rounds, for a match that was 3 rounds, it was really close all the way through. The only exception really was game 1 at the very beginning.
Game 1, yes, definitely felt like that was more the game that was dominated by the side of Oklahoma Christian. Game number 2 started leaning more in the middle of that teeter-totter play, especially because it was 2 goals and then 2 goals again. It was very back and forth. There were goals that were scored were returned in kind in game number 1, but in game number 2 it became very apparent. Of course, even more evident by the fact we had to go into overtime, as short-lived as it may have been. But then game number 3, something happened for Oklahoma. A switch just pseudo-flipped in their minds, I think, and they decided, no, we need to end this. We need to make sure this is done here and now. Let's fix things up and let's actually secure this victory and make sure that we maintain that goal lead from the get-go.
All right, well, as soon as we can get him in, we will get the details on what happened. But yeah, I mean, I think, and you're probably going to ask him about game two. I mean, that was probably the highlight of the entire night, of the entire match.
I mean, if you think about it, strictly statistically speaking, and if anyone is aware, as much as I suck at math, I love numbers. So looking at it just based off of player rankings individually and then going into the actual team rankings, Oklahoma was definitely the favored team to win in this series. It should have been very prominent and evident from the beginning based off statistics. However, team play is a little bit different. Of course, you have teammates, and that can set things up in your team's favor or work against you because at the end of the day, we're all humans. People can have bad days, they can have good days. And I don't know if game number 2 was evidence of they started to feel a little bit off. Maybe game 1, that first 5 minutes was too close for comfort for their team. Someone got a little bit upset. And so game number 2, that internal tilting started to demonstrate itself a little bit, and then halfway through at some point, someone said something, the IGL came in and said, focus up, let's win this game, we can do this, and it started to actually work back better in their favor, and game number 3 definitely did. There were some mistakes, but that's bound to happen. Again, we're human, but the game should not have been as close as they were, considering the statistics alone that we were coming into these matches knowing.
Especially thinking about how quickly the game was equalized in so many places. I mean, there were only like 20-second spans in between. If even that, I would say more probably like 10-second spans between goals. The team would go into a lead and it would be tied up. I mean, in round 2 alone, there were 3 separate times in which a team took the lead and it went back. And then I can't stress enough, the last 2 goals that tied it at 5 apiece were in the last 10 seconds of the game.
Yes, and that is when anxiety sets in, or a team that thinks that the goal gap should be much larger or they shouldn't even be equalized. That is where people can start to get upset. However, I will admit, during that overtime moment, when we saw, of course, the aerial acrobatics are always nice to see, typically in threes, that gets punished very heavily. It is very predictable. You see it more often in 2v2s. People go for that sort of stuff. But additionally, on top of that, we had 2 offensive players commit to the same location in the corner at the same time. And while it seemed calculated from our perspective, I'm not sure if it was, or if it was just why are we tied right now? We need to get this goal immediately, because that is a very punishable situation. So with that in mind, why would you commit to that 3-man back wall play when you know that if you use everything you have, because that aerial play, as you mentioned, you run out of boost very quickly in that situation, it's going to be a turnaround and a breakaway opportunity for the defense because they waited for you to land on the ground.
All righty, well, that just basically sums it up, everything that went on in game 1. We got to get moving on, though, to game number 2, so we'll be right back with another college mashup, take a little bit of a break, and be back with more Rocket League after this.
running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music and I stay here for the night. I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. You know when you keep running but your legs are standing still. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free.
Welcome back to the NACE Starleague studio. Our Rocket League day rolls on as we head on to match number 2. It's going to be Rochester Institute of Technology going up against Thomas College. And that is a very important match because both these teams, well, Colin, who's joining us right now, Colin Majunkin, subbing in to call all the action for the next few games. Why don't you tell us the significance of these two universities?
Well, it's a bit of a tongue twister. Well, I can't even say the word right without even getting there. It is 3-0, but they got there by having 3 3-0s. In a best-of-5 series that we have in NACE, they did not drop a single game, both of these teams. So, in my opinion, this is a big battle of sort of giants right here in their own perspective of they're consistently good, right? And I mean, that's one of the toughest opponents to go against, in my opinion, of just they're consistently where they are at when you scouted them, respect them, or whatever you did. Nothing's really going to change, and a lot of times you'll get into game and be like, okay, hold on a second. We need to take a step back and analyze this.
Both these teams have never tasted the agony of defeat, but that changes all right now as we're ready to head into the game. But before we do, we also just want to take a look at the lineups that we have, the players who are going to be competing first for RIT. We've got Sunblaze, Sebward, and Jacob.
And for the side of Thomas, we got Kay, Mav, I'm just with Mag, and Strudel.
Oh, great. It's always great when these names all of a sudden make me hungry again.
Oh, yeah. It's just on a day like today, you had to go with that one. You had to go with the one that made me hungry.
You just had. But our concerns are the least of anybody's worries right now. We have to get to the actual game. I'm told all the players are in the lobby ready to go. And I don't know how much you can say much more about this match. You know, both of them are at the top. They're tied for first in their division. We've moved now on from West Central 2 to the 8th Eastern Division as well. So a little bit more to the eastern side of the country. Ready to go. Who is going to emerge as the undisputed top dog in their division? Is it going to be the Tigers or the Terriers?
Quite a bit of matchup too in terms of mascots wise. I remember a conversation we had on this broadcast at one point when we get to college and start getting into more reasonable mascots. Might be a reasonable match. We're getting right into the matchup. Rochester IT is going to start off quickly with Sevward. Lined up, sit in the middle. Sunblaze sets him up perfectly.
It's no surprise, RIT is often a top show in college in a lot of different events, so they're going to immediately make that known by scoring the first goal not even 20 seconds into the match. Strudel gets the first touch on the kickoff, is going to follow it up, trying to play around Jacob, is going to be able to successfully do that, and Kay gets a goal. Oh boy, we've got a match on our hands when plays are going this quickly.
This realistically is not sort of a repeat of what I expect what was last series to happen in the same series as well. It's going to be an interesting one. Not only the color is the same as well, but also I think just both those teams being really consistent. Able to put a lot of shots on net and one put right on by Strudel. Vav is going to make up for it. Make sure that second shot is not blocked out. Put in the back of the net. Now, Terriers are up 2-1.
We are going to have a crazy game on our hands here. I am calling it. This one, even if it is a 3-0 sweep, it's going to be a long game just because of how much we're pausing for all the goals. Strudel gets one touch on it, doesn't have anyone to pass to. It's going to go right into Jacob. Now Mav on the follow-up. A lot in the goal. Can Kay push it past both? He sure can. Up 3-1 now, the Terriers.
Bit of chaos sitting in front of the net here. Mav takes a bit of a shot, blocked out barely by Seymour. Page is able to make up in the final second there. 2 goals scored pretty quickly here for Thomas, and Hens are going to be able to slow down. Right from kickoff, that was cheap, and they'll think it's going to take over though. Ball hit high. And then knee at the top, Jacob, then Sunblaze is there looking to get the read. Wasn't able to get the touch looking for. One touch off the sidewall here. Up, Mav sets it up high as well. Strudel's up, trying to put a shot on net. Is able to do it. Seymour gets the crossbar pinch, but it doesn't matter. Strudel is just on the way down, picks up another goal as well.
Strudel is the captain of the team and just leading in terms of the pure amount of goals he is scoring for the Terriers. That's what we're saying. Both these teams have supersonic legends on their rosters, but RIT actually leads in terms of overall ranking over the Terriers, but you wouldn't know that seeing this game right now.
Sunblaze up, looks to get a touch. The crossbar is there, making the save. Kay elevates one, looking up to get a second off the ceiling. Not going to do it. Strudel gets one touch, pays for it though. Gets demoed. Sunblaze able to get one over, trying to get a second touch. Mav was up. Not able to get anything more. Strudel. Ball to Kay to take over. Not a whole lot of boost on the sidewall there. Looks to fake the musty. Was able to do it. Mav has a bit of a free room to work with though, but not much after Sunblaze. Gonna get a touch. Attempts to go for a second. Not able to do it. Okay, one touch off the sidewall. It's gonna be easily defended. And the pinch is gonna send it back to the other side. This could be dangerous. Seth doesn't get a touch. They are. Sunblaze gonna get a second one. Basically get a third. Just trying to clear it out so fast right now. Man.
Also a double commit there to try to drive the ball past midfield. Definitely seems like the Tigers just aren't quite sure what to do when they're just so pushed far back. They have managed to find a clear. Jacob's going to follow it off to the front post. Sebward now taking it, trying to center it. He'll actually be credited with a shot on goal for his efforts, but elevation up right now. Mav has what he needs to beat Jacob to the punch with it. Strudel fills up on boost. Now head up against Sunblaze. Doesn't quite get a touch on the ball, and a spike down from Jacob. Brings it back to within 2.
Good little passing play went on there. Missed touch by Strudel is going to turn into an opportunity for Jacob to get a beautiful touch. Slot it in between 2 defenders sitting in the back of the net right there. And didn't do too much afterwards. Down to kick off. Sunblaze Strudel going to face off. Strudel gets the touch. Seb was not able to get the counter to make up for it. Strudel trying to get a second touch with the backboard. Mav is elevated. Gets one off the sidewall. Jacob's there. Gets one soft touch. Looking for a double. Gets a pinch onto the midfield. K is looking to get the shot on net. Was able to get the read. Not able to get the shot though. Strudel's going to quickly recenter it. Now to the Jacob. Trying to get a clear here. Mav is going to get the 50 pinch player. I'm just going to have to look at the replay to see exactly what it was.
I think this is great recognition of where RIT is really struggling. If you manage to get them all in front of the own goal and there's a bit of chaos, it's pretty reliably that the Terriers are getting 3, 4, 5 shots on goal in that scenario.
Oh yeah, and they've been able to put shots, when they put a shot on net, most oftentimes they're able to put it in the back of the net, which could either be good shot taking or bad defense. Quite honestly, in my opinion, it's only been one game. It's too early to quite tell. And like we saw in the last series, what was such a massive difference in game 1 quickly turned into 2 consecutively very close games. So I think we're going to have to wait and see here. K's looking to get a center for the teammate. Now it's Strudel, though. One off the backboard. Seb's going to be able to clear, try and follow it up. Not able to get a second touch. Sunblaze elevates it. Able to get a touch off the crossbar. Sent to the corner. Strudel's quickly there to make up for it. Sunblaze over to Jacob. Jacob booms into the midfield, though. Mav's able to pick it up, send it to the sidewall. Seb gets a 50. Gets contested, though. Now it's K. Gets one touch. Sunblaze is up. Does get a beat. Sends the ball to Jacob sitting on the sidewall. Jacob gets one more touch. Sunblaze attempts to go up. Not able to get much touch. This Mav is just causing a lot of mayhem as a pass in the midfield. Beautifully almost executed. Was defended very well by Jacob.
Well, RIT is starting to run into a problem, a fundamental one of just not having enough time. There's only 40 seconds left at this point, maybe 13 seconds per goal. That is tough to ask even of the top pro teams. I think as we go past half a minute, this one's just going to have to go over to the Terriers. Edward misses that. They're going to be pushed back farther into their goal. Centering, Jacob gets a save. Sunblaze going to try to take it past midfield. A goal would have to be scored here. I say they try, but K denies it before we can even know if that shot was accurate enough.
Sunblaze cuts a little bit, isn't able to get this clearing touch though. Mav was able to get the 50. Sunblaze off the ceiling, does get the touch, gets credited for the shot, but it's not enough to be put on target. The demo up by Mav. Mav's trying to do the same thing, get a bit of a doomsday dish. K was trying to clean it up, not able to do it, but it really didn't matter as it's going to be Thomas to take game 1 in a pretty staggering 2-5 lead nonetheless. I said it before, you know, what was that series you guys just covered not too long ago, like 10 minutes ago? What was such a pretty big difference in game 1 quickly turned into very close games.
It's true.
So I'm not gonna write anything in stone yet.
Still, we were also saying that it's not necessarily as huge as it would be in a best of 3, but it also is in a best of 7. I know it sounds like I'm saying stuff obviously right now, but getting one win first off, you know, that really sets the pace in this best of 5 that we're looking at. And I think the Terriers, if I'm to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't necessarily think that the Terriers would come out swinging this much, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got a sweep now.
One team has to, and the biggest thing also mentally that we need to talk about is this is the first team, or this is the first game that our team has dropped.
Yes,
they have lost.
Their first loss.
First game loss, not a series loss, but their first game loss in the entire thing. And if they're aware that, oh, we're perfect so far, we have yet to lose anything, that might impact them a little more in terms of can they mentally recover now of, great, our first one, we can't keep a perfect record anymore.
I'd say it's usually, I mean, it's always easier said than done, but it's usually fairly easy to reset after a standard size game rather than an overtime game. If it goes into overtime like 3, 4, 5 minutes, then those are the times where it's really tough to mentally reset. And right off the bat, Rochester is finding themselves pushed back. Going to be pushing up Sebward, trying to take it to the goal, stopped by K. Now K on the counterattack, moving and gets the first goal for the Terriers.
That is so rough. I know that feeling right there. You attempt to go up, Jacob. Jacob ends up back flipping, not able to get a touch. Played really far forward there. Needed that touch to make sure it didn't find the back of the net. Unfortunately, not able to do that. And they're just going to find one for the side of Terriers. Going to go up 1-0. But it's only been 20 seconds so far. Mav is on the ceiling to get a contest. Seb was able to get a defensive play, get back in time to save the ball. But that could have been catastrophe for the mental right there for RIT.
Demo on to K. Jacob corralling it around. No follow-up to get the goal that time. Side control, still side control. Another shot on goal, this time off the crossbar. Nav goes up the side. K is trying to get to it before Sunblaze can. He's going to have to settle with the demo onto Sunblaze for now. Edward gets a touch on it. Going to redirect it over to Sunblaze, who gets another and get a little bit of revenge in terms of the demos. Going to put one back onto Mav.
Strudel now looking to put a shot on net, looking to put top left bins, get it over Seb. Seb gets bumped out of position a little bit. Still able to stick with the ball nonetheless. Gets a 50 on the Mav on the side, but what Mav is able to recover really quickly and get there. Bumps Jacob out of the way. We're getting a touch. Sunblaze is able to take possession there. Over to Jacob. Jacob's going to get over one now, trying to get past Strudel. Strudel now on the back wall. Jacob still trying to cause some mayhem here. Mav was able to come in cleanly, get the save. Now boom it to the yellow backboard here. Sunblaze going to get one touch, send it out. Seb to get the follow-up one as well. Bounces out, could have a shot opportunity. Plays it slow, trying to get it past Strudel. Was able to, but Mav once again find themselves in a crucial position to make the save. Now it's Jacob up in the air, going for one touch. Now looking for the ceiling or the second. Looking for a pass instead. It's not enough. Strudel's going to be able to play the defensive clear, get an air dribble, possibly a flip reset, and just chaos happening in front of the net after that demo by K on a Seb. Just clears his opening for the Terriers to take absolute advantage of it.
I think before the flip reset, he got at least 3 touches on that thing. He had that dialed in.
He was in it to win it with that air dribble.
An even bigger lead for Thomas, up 2-0. Strudel elevates up. Mavi and K watch on as Sunblaze gets a touch on it. Going to push it off to the corner. Now gets a double on it. Shot's a bit too fast, though, for a follow-up. A demo onto Sunblaze. Terriers now might have an opening. Jacob hanging out on the front post is going to drive it. Try to drive it past the corner. Another demo being brought out on a Sunblaze. They are just not letting that guy play.
You gotta pick one and just absolutely ruin their night is what it feels like Thomas is going for right now. Pretty good shot off the backboard there. Wasn't able to turn into a shot on goal though, but now Seb with possession there. Gets a nasty pinch into midfield. Sunblaze try to get a read on it, not able to do it. Jacob trying to get the follow up on the sidewall. Also not able to get the quality assist. Looking for Sunblaze, now trying to play back a little bit. You can see Seb being bullied in the back by K. Now it's Strudel, gets 50'd on the sidewall before being able to go for their solo. Sunblaze now has possession on the sidewall. Mav is going to get the 50 though. Backwards, the shot by Seb is deflected by K. Saved out by Mav after a poor touch on the sidewall. Mav then gets a demo on the Sunblaze. Seb now tries to get a 50, is able to get it done. Still sitting in the yellow corner here. Jacob's the one to take possession, gets one. Gets a second in midfield. Sunblaze is sitting there, but backflips as well. Not able to get the shot on net. Seb's going to play recovery there. Play a bit of damage control. K gets a bit of a self-touch there. K and Strudel double commit on the ball. K took a shot a bit wide. Jacob now possession in the corner here. Does get one touch, gets bumped off quickly. Mav to play around Sunblaze. Jacob to get one more touch in the corner. Strudel now going for the demo, leaves the net wide open. Sunblaze is able to come just in time and save it out.
Jacob puts a shot back. It's blocked by Strudel quite quickly. Another shot by Rochester is going to get them a bit of territory, but they need their first goal of all things. Mav is going to go for the flip reset, drive it toward the goal, blocked by Sunblaze. Right at the very end, who gets commendation for all of the saves he's gotten this game. But saves don't mean anything if you can't get one on the goal, and Sunblaze is going to say, I want my first goal right now. Pushes it back to within one.
Absolutely beautiful second touch by Jacob there. Wasted no time, no hesitation in that play right there. Beautiful pass to the teammate waiting in the midfield. He's going to take complete advantage of it. He's going to put one more on the board for the side of RIT and count that as 2 as a quick little flick play off the kickoff. It's a game, ladies and gentlemen.
Last match, it very much played out the same way. You'd think one team had pulled ahead and they were just going to coast into victory, and then in the course of just 10 seconds, everything is reset.
Ooh, beautiful bump on Decay. No play able to take place in there. Sunblaze able to get one touch, though. It's not able to do too much as K gets a flick. Trying to center it up for a teammate. Seb now playing possession in the wall. We're down to 24 seconds right here. An attempt to clear here. Able to get a little bit out mid. Strudel able to get one touch. Not able to get the second. The pass onto the sidewall looking for Seb. Sunblaze get one more touch. Mav now has possession. Looking on the sidewall. Not a whole lot of boost to work with. Maybe looking for a teammate. Gets it over one. K wrapping around the ball. Does get a fake here. Only 4 seconds left. The pinch off the top of the car. Now a touch off the sidewall. Seb elevates, looking to get a touch. It's a bit wide. It's going to touch the ground. And to the first OT of the series, we go to.
Seb gets the first touch on it. Mav now looking to corral it in their own corner. Has to go up against Sunblaze. Jukes him out, is able to play around one. Jacob's going to stop it from being centered, however. Now Strudel goes in. So many Tigers guarding their goal. Jacob now continues pushing it up the field. Seb tries to get a shot, but Mav just denies him. Body blocks that shot. Another one's going to come through, though, from the Tigers. They're fighting back. They've come alive in the final minute. A demo onto Mav. Strudel now gets a touch on the ball. Jacob's going to try to push it around for another shot, but it's disrupted by Thomas.
40 seconds into this game, and this OT, and so much action, and what was an absolute boom of a pass. Almost turned into an open net goal. Slowed down at the very end of it, though. K going to the midfield, gets one touch, mess up the shot on net. Now it's Seb. Not a whole lot of boost to work with. Is able to get a pinch, though. Send it into the red corner here. Mav with possession. Now to get it over one roster defender. Not able to get underneath Sunblaze, though. Sunblaze now in possession into the midfield, looking to get something happening on net. Wasn't able to do it. Strudel credited with a save. It's Jacob now onto the backboard here. Taking around the world. Gets a bit of a musty. Send it into the corner after the 50. Jacob now one touch into the midfield. Seb is up and elevated, but gets contested. Ball gets sent back into the midfield, or more like the red corner now as K's possession.
And shot by Sunblaze to end it. He was the one to start the rally for the Tigers, and he's going to be the one to end it in Game 2. Tie the series up 1 apiece.
That's at least maybe the second or third time that's happened in this game alone, where somebody on the side of the Carriers has attempted to go for a solo play off the sidewall, and one of the Tiger players just doesn't let that happen. They just simply are on top of it so fast and don't let the play develop, and it's beautifully executed, not only defensively but also offensively in that moment right there. That's the pure reason why that ball ended up in the perfect position to have a shot taken on it, on net, and to win the Tigers that series game. So now it's tied up, and the Terriers don't have that sweep anymore.
Yeah, and both of the teams' spotless record is ruined. They've been able to draw blood from both. So they have that no matter how this game turns out.
I'm going down.
Yeah,
you're going down
with me. Yeah,
that's the type of mentality I'd love to see here.
And I mean, there's certainly no shortage of demos for this game either. So it's a mentality that's been very thorough through and through throughout the entire match. So we're going to head into Game 3. It's going to be match point. We're guaranteed to see at least a 4th game. Who's going to drive themselves into the winning position? Possibly end this.
Real quick, just once again, 1-1 series right now between Rochester IT and Thomas. Both have perfect records right now of 3-0. And a demo right off the kickoff, going for a bit of a Spanish. Now it's Strudel. Gets a 50 into the midfield here. Sunblaze going to quickly pick it up. Going for a second touch. May was there to interrupt. Gets one touch on the sidewall. K to pick it up. Could be a shot on net by Jacob. Does take it. It is saved out by Mav. Another shot by Seb is also saved out by Strudel. 2 for 2 so far, but another pass, another shot sent by Sunblaze, saved out by Mav. 3 for 3, Seb to send it back to the midfield. Jacob elevates to put another shot, sends out the backboard. Strudel to boom it out. Sunblaze to play for more and more possession here. Attempt to get it over, not able to do it. Mav gets the demo though. Seb controlling possession. Gets a bit of a shot on net. Easily saved out though. Mav is elevated, gets one touch, maybe looking for K in the midfield. K rotates back. Mav with the beautiful 50. Not able to execute though, as the Tigers are going to quickly regroup and send that ball into the corner and now take control of the ball.
Jacob now push shot on goal. It's going to be blocked by Mav. Sunblaze has his shot blocked, pushed all the way over to the other side. Jacob gets past to Sebward, redirect over. All three of them get a touch. Can that be any more perfectly coordinated? Jacob to Sebward to Sunblaze. They were all in on it.
I have no words. That is beautiful. That is magnificent is what it is. There's simply no other words.
Poetry in motion.
Exactly. Oh, and another Spanish kickoff here, going for the demo. Mav to try and get it around an open net. Thomas is not out of it. The Terriers answer back quickly off the kickoff. Talk about coordination there. They say you can do it, we can do it right back.
I wouldn't have it any other way for this match. It is very competitive. Even the first game that was a 3-0 sweep, I mean, it was close every single round. So we are not having any huge blowouts here today. Both teams very evenly matched. To the other corner of the field. Gonna get past K. Sunblaze gets a touch on it. Runs right into Strudel. Mav now. Long bomber back over toward the open goal, but Jacob is able to get a touch on it, push it off to the side. Sebward. Strudel elevates up, gets one touch on it, off into the corner. Ball is high, and Mav wins that 50. Huge bomber back over toward Rochester. Right now, we're just kind of seeing ping pong back and forth.
Yeah, no real advances, no real shots on net ever since that game got tied up 1-1. Strudel maintaining control of the ball in that midfield here. Seb gets one touch off the sidewall, gets a beautiful 50. Strudel might be able to make a cut, get a touch, opts not to go for it, leaves it for K. K to get one soft touch into the corner, keeping control of the ball. A shot on net, saved out by Mav though, but Jacob's still causing mayhem. Sunblaze to make a cut onto the crossbar. Jacob was there looking for the shot, not able to do it. Strudel's gonna be credited with the save. Mav attempts to get this ball out, but we are seeing a different RIT team come out in game number 3. A lot of offensive pressure coming out right now. And a lot of quality touches, as that 50 is going to put Strudel in an interesting position to try and make a save off the backward. Is able to do it. Now a pass into the midfield, blocked out once again. Sunblaze might be looking for a pass into the midfield. Not able to do it. Mav is going to be credited with the save. Now the boom. K on the sidewall. Gets intercepted by Jacob though, but Mav still looking at a touch. Not able to do it. Strudel now taking the shot on net. Woo! And Sunblaze not able to elevate in time. Strudel putting the Terriers up one more goal.
I also got to give a shout out to Mavi as well, as basically rolled over his activity feed. His second row is going to show up for him. He's been doing demos, shots on goals, saves, 4 saves for him. I mean, wow. Talk about your anchor to keep you in the game.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. Plus 2 shots as well for that. It is, and an assist, I believe. Yeah, an assist as well. Talk about a player for game number 3. If Thomas doesn't take this game, I can tell you one player is going to be mad about it. Right now, Strudel trying to take control of the ball. Seb to interrupt that. Now looking for a pass in midfield. Jacobs elevated. Now, wow, the ball just hovering, bouncing inches away from going to the back of the net here. Mav elevates, gets one touch, now trying to get a reset off the backboard. Is able to do it. Jacob 50s with him. Sunblaze shot on net. A whole lot of pressure eventually gets converted into a goal for RIT.
Nice, just shot dead center of the goal by Sunblaze. We're tied back up 2 apiece now. 1 minute, 18 seconds left to go. Plays over to the corner. Strudel demoed. Ball's going to head back to mid, though, so Strudel has plenty of time to respawn. Mav goes in, doesn't take the shot. Strudel now is going to take charge. Touched by Sebward. Okay, they both run into each other. Ball still mostly in the same position. Now Sunblaze pushes it past mid. Navi rotating back and allows Strudel to go in.
Ooh, big bump by Jacob. Takes the player out of position. Allows one more Rochester offensive. The Flip reset off the ball from the midfield touch. Strudel take one off the backboard. Seb is able to get a touch here with only 35 seconds here. A pass into the midfield. Nobody able to put a shot on net from the side of the Terriers, but a back pass sets up Cade beautifully. Cade might be looking for a solo player. Gets interrupted by Sunblaze sent to the corner, but Strudel might have a shot. Strudel takes a soft touch off the backboard here, and Mav to force it. Brute force even after the 50 into the back of the net here. The Terriers are taking the lead right now. I don't know.
Oh. I'm so used to seeing the crossbar be the biggest goalie ever that to see 2 bounces off the post into the goal.
To see crossing fail.
Unreal. All right, Thomas hanging on to a narrow 1-goal lead. Can they hold on to a win? They've got 10 seconds left. Looking to get their goal to secure it. They're now 2 goals ahead. I think we're going on to match point.
This is... Jacob tries to get a touch to get it clear here. Unfortunately for them, the Terrier offensive was just sitting there lurking, able to get a beautiful touch underneath. 7 seconds though, doable. Gonna be difficult though. Seb trying to drain out some time here. The final second, it is definitely going to be Thomas and the Terrier players to put this into match point not before putting one more in. Mav to get the hat trick. There's that double-decker accolades we were talking about right there for Mav.
He committed so much to the team. It's the main reason. I mean, at least 4 goals as well. Yeah, we can also see, oh my goodness, look. Wow, that's 6 saves for that game. 6.
6 and 4 shots on net with 3 goals as well to go along with it. If you want to talk about an MVP,
I was about to say, I know
no other
debate.
contest there. There's nobody else that stands. It's a massive shadow that gets cast along the field, and Mav's the statue standing in the middle of it all. But the Terriers go to match point here. But honestly, during that whole time, I never saw the Tigers really back down. They were still contesting, and over time, they've just, from what was a substantial difference in game 1, has quickly turned into them taking game 2, and then some just a series, one unfortunate touch that a Terrier player was able to make, turns it into a goal, and turn it to get in the lead, then turn it to a 3rd goal, put the nail in the coffin. I wouldn't count RIT out of this though, not by any inch.
No, they themselves are an undefeated team. The whole roster is made up of supersonic legends. I'm not counting them out. I already said last game it's not over until we actually see the victory screen. Going into game 4 now. Jacob goes off to the side, flip reset. Keeps dribbling it toward the goal, tries to waterfall it down, and follow up by Sunblaze, denied by Strudel.
Strudel now, in my opinion, gets credit for the 1. More like 2 saves right there. Now Kay looking for the offensive. Jacob has pretty good positioning there. Put a stop to that play. Kay gets the demo though, nonetheless. Now Mav trying to pick up the speed, trying to get there. Now it's Seb on the sidewall here. Not a whole lot of boost to work with. Going to steal 100 though. Mav to get the pinch on the sidewall, and now a roll.
Oh my goodness!
2 opportunities. Sunblaze looking for the air dribble and perfectly execute it. That's the type of play, and
I am just more shocked they actually adhere to it.
Oh, yeah.
They're both, well, I know you have to, but I mean, come on. It's match point. You could end it. One team's having their perfect season ended, but no, they were going to hold steadfast to it.
Honor above all.
All right, Kay puts shot onto the goal quickly. Sunblaze saves. For the next play, denied by Strudel. Shot back by Sebward and back by Kay. Here we go. We're going to go into the back and forth now. Bit of a dance. Sebward puts a shot. Oh, and Strudel gets a touch back. How surprising. Here goes Sunblaze back. This could be the breakaway shot. Nope. Mav answers it back.
Dave gets 1 cut on it. Strudel's now up. Gets 1 touch. Not a whole lot of boost to work with. Jacob's now trying to find somebody in the midfield here. Gets a soft touch. Jake going to get 1 more. Credit the save. Mav also gets credit with the save as well. Kay's now elevated. Gets the flip reset. Looking for a solo play to happen. There's Sunblaze off the ceiling. Not able to do it. The flick over 1. Only leaves Jacob in the back. This could be dangerous. Strudel with the pinch off the ceiling. or onto the ceiling, more like it. K to take a shot, it's a bit wide. Seb to get the defense. Now Seb with the boom, trying to find Jacob, not able to do it. Strudel to interfere. Sunblaze now to get one touch off the backboard. Mad to take a shot. Put it in the right bins there. And a stagnant, I believe, Seb in the middle of the net really had the dodgy demo. That was just going to be so difficult. And that's going to tie it.
I would say Strudel contributed to that as much as Mav did. Strudel's been really good at reading shots on goals that RIT's trying to push forward and then denying them. Sunblaze is going to try. Goes right into K. Ball's going to head over to the other side of the field. Strudel credited with the save against Sebward. Jacob gets a demo onto Mav, but Strudel continuing up the field. Ball's going to be played over him. K tries to get a touch on it. Sunblaze now drives it all the way back over to the corner where Mav is waiting, going to get demoed. Two of them are demoed. And a bit of panic off of those demos. Double commit to try to save it, and they both whiff.
It's a tried and true classic. Just they can't defend the ball if you're not there physically in the game to do it. And two demos puts Thomas into a bit of a panic mode, and they get a double commit and a really well-placed shot. It's going to put the Tigers in the lead here as we see Sunblaze. Not a whole lot of boost to continue with the solo play here, though. It's going to be able to get it around one, though. Mav, now off the backboard, gets demoed as well. Seb to get another 50, sends it into the midfield. Sunblaze to get the cut on it. Now trying to make up for lost time. Might be sitting in the back for Jacob. Jacob's going to boom it down, give it possession. Mav to get one touch. Sebward now sitting off the backboard, though. K's there. Picked up defensively. Now trying to get a pinch to happen on the sidewall. Was able to do it with Jacob. Sitting there waiting to grab control of the ball. A 50 leaves it into the midfield here. Sunblaze trying to get a cut. Was able to get a touch onto the ball, but not getting much more than that. Now it's Strudel off the ceiling. Not able to get the quality touch they're looking for. Sunblaze in possession. Was looking for the air dribble or the flick. Don't quite honestly know, but either way, not able to quite get it much done. Strudel get one touch. Mav to steal 100 boost. Now to get a bump onto Seb. Seb now gets a dangerous touch off the ceiling. Mav to take a shot. Gets it over Sunblaze's head. And we have a tied game with a minute 55 left.
Sunblaze, all he could. It is so hard to gain good elevation if you don't have that forward momentum behind you.
Especially off that awkward, like, I'm back and the ball gets touched off the ceiling. Now my camera's doing this weird thing, and it's just a whole lot of, I hope I get this touch right here. Unfortunately, not able to do it, though.
Strudel able to take away a ball from Jacob. Head back over to Sebward. Elevation up by Mavi, takes it away from him. Now Jacob's up to the bat again. He gets bumped out of the way. Sunblaze up the center. Strudel gets a touch on it, spikes it up high, follow up by Sebward. Shot on goal, saved by Mav.
Oh, and a beautiful fake by Jacob here. Might be looking for a teammate in the middle.
Whoa!
Sunblaze to put a shot. It was a bit wide, but Strudel's going to be credited the save nonetheless. Seb now trying to play it, gets it over one. Sunblaze to get a touch, gets paid for it though. Demoed. Cost of getting the touch there might not be worth it though, but now Jacob gets possession of the ball. A pinch from Mav off the sidewall allows them to take a shot on net. Not able to do it though. Kay was looking to get the test there in the midfield. Not able to do it. Strudel off the respawn. Going to play a bit of shadow. Works out for him. Now a pinch on the sidewall is going to send this ball deep into yellow territory here. Jacob's going to be able to contest. Play a bit of good defense there. Now Kay gets one into the corner of yellow. Seb to get one more touch. Strudel's elevated. 64 boost. Gets the flip reset, but Seb's elevated as well off the backboard. Gets the touch. Mav looking for the double. Not able to do it. And the defense is going to come through for the side of the Tigers. The 50 by Strudel. Going to leave Mav with the touch here. Mav trying to keep it up, keep it going. Not a whole lot of boost left though. Zero in the tank, gets bumped off the ball. Sunblaze now trying to eat away some time in the corner here. Going to play around Strudel though. Jay going to try and take over. Mav gets the touch into the midfield. After 50, the last couple seconds wind down here. K now looking for a solo play. Might be looking for a teammate. Strudel now up. Do they have the angle of the shot? A clear.
Oh!
Jacob.
Are you kidding me?
Find the last couple feet into the back of the net. A desperate attempt by the Terriers to end it out ends up backfiring completely. And the Tigers tied the series.
No, man, it's going to go all the way. All the way. Now Strudel coming in as the key save maker for Thomas. 4 saves. Mavi had 2. Also, RIT was pretty impressive in their own saving ability as well. Oh boy!
I mean, that's such a way to end out the game too. Just like Jacob,
I know.
Jacob just sitting there, just like following the ball, like, yeah, I got it. That's just such a heartbreaking way, and that's one of those ones where it's almost a little bit more defeating than losing in overtime, because it's like that's something we should not allow to happen. And you know, we're not in their comms. We don't know exactly what the mental or what it's like in there, but that's got to be a tough way for the Terriers and Thomas to lose that game. But now both teams have it at match point here. Will their broken records, or who's going to have a broken record here? Who's going to continue to go undefeated? Who's going to ascertain their first loss in the Starleague Varsity Premier?
Well, we have no rounds left, no excuses, no do-overs, no gimmies, no lifelines, no hints. A winner has to be decided right now. Will it be RIT or will it be Thomas?
10-minute overtime.
10.
Guaranteed.
Don't start with me. Don't you even dare. Somebody get some soap for this man to wash that filthy mouth out with. Alrighty, let's actually get to the game. Abby around the corner. And that's not really going to go anywhere. Just has to watch as ball is going to head back. Jacob manages to get 1 touch on it. Play is going to be continued onward as Sunblaze gets a shot on goal. Saved by Strudel. Going to keep it scoreless in the first 30 seconds.
I see 15 to the midfield here. Mav may be able to put a shot on net. Is not able to get the beat out though. Sunblaze up. Gets 1 touch off the ceiling here. Shot on net. Blocked out by K in mid-air there. Bit of a read and a beautiful bump. Denies another shot on net. Seb also gets bumped as well. In the chaos is able to get 1 more touch. The 50 in the air. As Seb also gets demoed as well. Strudel trying to get a 50. Is able to do it. Ball for them lands red corner though. As the Terriers are just trying to recover here. Able to get it clear into the midfield. Seb's going to be able to cut on the ball though. 1 more Thomas offensive though. To pinch onto the sidewall. Jacob now in possession, clears it over 1 though. Only 30 boosts in the tank. K with a lot more, able to get it around Jacob. Now has a solo play potential here. Only 20 in the tank though, not able to do much more. You know what, just decides, I don't have the boost in the tank to go for the play, so I'm just gonna take you out of the play. Beautiful air dribble bump.
One of the things that the Terriers really were kind of fighting back against in the last game was that RIT was the one last game to really start the pace of play, and the Terriers were always trying to catch up, and it seems like being in that position of always having to catch up was one that they just weren't exactly suited to. And so maybe now getting the first goal, I mean, they're playing like it. Mavi's going to get a shot on goal, follow that up with a demo. Have a bit more swagger in their step that they're leading. And the goal is scored, cleared out by the demo. Picture perfect coordination. Terriers 2-0 lead. That is just cause and effect right there.
This is the Thomas team that we've seen in Game 1 and Game 3, where they were doing a lot more thinking ahead of the play than what was a lot of reaction. You want to be proactive instead of reactive, and that's exactly what this Terrier team is doing right now. Oh, I can't get any more touch. Let me bump somebody in net to allow my teammate to take the glory, take the shot. Team over individual, honestly, and that's what Thomas is looking like right now. As Mav has a whole lot of room and a whole lot of boost to work with, trying to connect with the teammate in the midfield here. They're both going to fake out the ball. Not going to touch here. Now it's Jacob. They're going to be 50, not able to do it off the sidewall here. Kay's going to rotate back. Tigers team looking to mount an offensive here. Struder's going to get a 50 off the backboard here. 1 touch. Leads to a second. This could be dangerous, though. Mav's going to be credited with the save. Now sitting on the sidewall, able to get 1 more touch. RIT defenders able to get a cut onto the play here. Now to get 1 more on the sidewall here. Strudel a bit out of position. Not a whole lot of boost, but Kay's able to make up for it, though. Gets 1 soft touch off the sidewall. Passing play looking to occur here for the Tigers. The touch into the midfield, one soft touch back onto net. Jacob trying to get a shot, not able to quite do it. This could be dangerous. K's looking for a double, perhaps a pass to a teammate, not able to get it through though.
Strudel now heading back into his own territory to regroup. He spent all his boost, however. Ball gets taken away from him. Sunblaze unable to redirect it into the goal. Seb gets a touch. Ball up high, possibility of going in, but Mav is going to defuse that situation in a hurry. Strudel also gets a save to his credit. Oh, and a double commit to try to get the ball by the Terriers. Can they regroup? They're able to demo Jacob, and they won't pay too heavily for that double commit. Rather uncommon appearance because both these teams undefeated. They can play at the level where mistakes like that don't come often. Another shot on goal by the Terriers. 1 minute just about left with a 2-goal lead for the Terriers.
Oh, and a great passing play there. Jacob would get a beautiful touch. Wow! I haven't seen one like that in a while. Executed so well by Jacob. Gets it around the last Terrier defender in an open net for Sunblaze. Still down 1 goal with 1 minute and 4 seconds left, but they are not out of it. We have seen this Tiger team come back from situations exactly like this in a previous game beforehand as well. Seb to get a touch, roll it off the backboard here. Now Terry defense coming through. Possession of the ball. Matt to try and get one more touch. Gets bumped off it though, but K's there to get one more touch. Now trying to get the read. Not able to do it. Seb gets credited with the save as well. Only 19 boost though to Seb's name. Jacob has to dodge a demo. Is able to do it effectively with still a bit of boost in the tank. Able to get one more touch. Looking to get the second with no boost in the tank. Able to get the double. Strudel, only 40. Trying to go for an air dribble. Only good for one more touch, and that's it. Now the possession play. K gets a 50 though. Mav looking to get under 1, not able to fake it out though. The defense for the side of Tigers coming through strong, but only 17 seconds left in the game.
15 seconds, the Terriers looking to defend to stop this from going into an overtime. 10 seconds left. RIT's trying for a buzzer beater to bring this back. Redirect toward the goal. The shot is wide, however. Oh, no, they won't! They are not going to stop this from going into an overtime.
They will not go into the night quietly. Oh my God. The last second play, this is twice now that the Terriers have paid for a couple last second just sort of laziness that the Tigers have taken full advantage for. And heading into OT game 5 against 2 undefeated teams, I honestly couldn't ask for a better way for this game to go down. A bit of a double commit though on the side of the Tigers here. Mav not able to get a great touch. Now pass to the midfield, looking for shots, a bit soft. Gonna be saved out by Strudel. Seb to get a demo on K though. Mav was there to take over though in the back of the net. Able to get a save here. Now Strudel advances. Able to get one touch over on the backboard though. There could be a shot opportunity for the Terriers. Not any longer. One touch into the midfield by Sunblaze. Gets a cut. Able to get around 1, but gets bumped though. The last second bump, not able to come down. Mav to try and get a passing play off the back touch. Not able to do it though, but now might be looking for a solo play instead. Gets it over 1, now trying to get the touch, and no better way to end out the game than Mav themselves taking control of it and going for a beautiful double touch off the backboard.
They had troubles in overtime all throughout this match, but in the most crucial one, they were able to get the victory. Thomas College gets the win over RIT. The higher-ranked team falls. The kitty has been declawed, and Thomas walks away with a 4-0 record, almost assuredly guaranteeing them spot in the playoffs if I were to wager.
Oh yeah, if that doesn't, I don't know what will. And you know, biggest thing is it's not over for RIT, right? 3-1, still has a chance to get redemption later off in playoffs, but still, I mean, if I just have to highlight Matt. I just have to highlight Mav. Like, not only the Game 3 dominance that was displayed there, but also in that last Game 5 as well. And I don't quite honestly remember their stats in Game 1, but if there's a player that deserved an MVP trophy from that game right there, it is Mav.
Well, instead of just highlighting Mav, I just want to see all the match highlights because we've got so many plays to go over. I'm sure we'll show them to you over the break, heading into our break, because we got a Game 3 we got to get to. But first off, just enjoy the replays brought to you by Mavix Gaming Chairs. Mavix, you can feel the difference Enjoy your replays, and we will be back with Game 3 after this. As the undisputed top dog in their division, is it going to be the Tigers or the Terriers?
Kind of a good matchup.
All the way over to the other side. It gets past to Sebword, redirect, over, all three of them get a touch! Can that be any more perfectly coordinated?
thinking why we used to be so high on life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I'll just keep on being high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. I know that you're feeling forsaken, mistaken, wish you were another man. I remember feeling awakened, mistaken, if you thought I'm in that place where you want me to be. But I don't want you back. So it's easy to see when I'm high all the time. 'Cause I have lost you, get the thinking why we used to be so high on life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I just keep on being high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when
Their division, is it going to be the Tigers or the Terriers?
Kind of a bit of a matchup. Able to put a lot of shots on net and one put right on by Drew. Blocked out. Put in the back of the net. Now, Terriers are up 2-1.
Go right into Jacob. Now Mav on the follow-up. A lot in the goal. Can K push it past both? He sure can. Up 3-1 now, the Terriers.
Bit of chaos sitting in front of the net here. Mav takes a bit of a shot, blocked out barely, but see where Cage is able to make up in the final second there. Here. Up, Mav. Put a shot on net, is able to do it. See where it gets the crossbar pinch, but it doesn't matter. Strudel is just on the way down, picks up another goal as well.
Strudel is the captain of the team and just leading in terms of heroes. Up on boost, now head up against Sunblaze. Doesn't quite get a touch on the ball, and a spike down from Jacob. Brings it back to within 2.
Good little passing play went on there. Missed touch by Strudel is going to turn into an opportunity for Jacob to get a beautiful touch. Slotted. Shot on net. Was able to get the read. Not able to get the shot though. Strudel's going to quickly recenter it. Now to Jacob. Try and get it clear here. Mav is going to get the 50 pinch player. I'm just going to look at the replay to see exactly what it was.
I think this is great recognition of where RIT is really struggling. If you Marianne, who gets commendation for all of the saves he's gotten this game, but saves don't mean anything if you can't get one on the goal. And Sunblaze is going to say, I want my first goal right now. Pushes it back to within 1.
Absolutely beautiful second touch by Jacob there. Wasted no time, no hesitation.
Anything if you can't get one on the goal. And Sunblaze is going to say, I want my first. They're fighting back. They've come alive in the final minute.
Ball gets sent back into the midfield, or more like the red corner now is KSB.
And shot by Sunblaze to end it. He was the one to start the rally for the Tigers, and he's going to be the one to end it in Game 2. Tie the series up. And shot by Sunblaze. Way over to the other side. Jacob gets past to Sebward. Redirect over. All 3 of them get a touch. Can that be any more perfectly coordinated? Jacob to Sebward to Sunblaze. They were all in on it.
I have no words. That is beautiful. That is
redirect over. All 3 of them get a touch.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and another Spanish kickoff here, going for the demo. Mav to try and get it around open net. Thomas is not out of it. The Terriers answer back quickly off the kickoff. Talk about coordination there. They say you can do it, we can do it right back.
I wouldn't have it any other way for this.
Mav to try and get it around open net. Sidewall gets intercepted by Jacob though, but Mav still looking at a touch, not able to do it. Strudel now taking a shot on net, and Sunblaze not able to elevate in time. Strudel putting the Terriers up 1 more goal.
I also got to give a shout out to Mavi as well, as basically rolled over.
Touch, not able to do it. Strudel now taking a shot on net, and Sunblaze from going to the back of the net here. Mav elevates, gets 1 touch, now trying to get a reset off the backboard. Is able to do it. Jacob 50s with a Sunblaze shot on net. a whole lot of pressure eventually gets converted into a goal for RIT.
Nice, just shot dead center of the goal.
Able to do it. Jacob 50s with a center shot on. Is able to do it. Jacob 50s with a center shot on net. Is able to do it. Jacob 50s with a center shot on net. Player gets interrupted by Sunblaze sent to the corner, but Strudel might have a shot. Strudel takes a soft touch off the backboard here, and Mav to force it, brute force, even after the 50 into the back of the net here. The Terrors are taking the lead right now. I don't know.
Oh.
Strudel takes a soft touch off the backboard here, and Mav to force.
And they
Anything if you can't get one on the goal, and Sunblaze is going to say, I want my Tigers. They're fighting back. They've come alive in the final minute.
Do it. Jacob 50s with a center shot on net. Strudel takes a soft touch off the backboard here, and Mav to
They're now 2 goals ahead. I think
for the match point not before putting one more in. Mav.
Welcome back to this NACE Starleague broadcast. Tonight you're joining us for some Rocket League action, and we just witnessed one heck of a game that went down to the wire. I am now your host for a little bit, Artie Nerdy Rain, and of course still here with me is Colin Majunkin. All right, Colin, why don't you give me the SparkNote version of what just occurred in your mind between our last 2 teams?
Crazy.
Okay, yeah, I do agree with that. I was running camera op the entire time, and I'm sort of shocked that his vocal cords are still working. But speaking of our previous matches, we are going to be hopping into the 4th match of the day. However, we can give you a quick rundown of the entire schedule and how all these games shook out leading up until this match right here for our Rocket League broadcast. Again, I'm still nerdy. This is Colin, and let's take a quick look at that schedule so we can show everyone how we made it to where we currently are tonight. There it is. At first, we had Oklahoma Christian take on Colorado College. That was a 3-0 in favor of Oklahoma. Then the match that we had Jacob and Colin on for was Rochester IT taking on Thomas, and that ended up being a victory for Thomas with a 2-3 sweep.
Now we got the Mary Washington Florida Tech game that is going to be on right now, and then after this one in the future, we got George Mason versus Siena Heights. So don't tune out after this matchup. We got another pretty strong game for you.
So this next matchup, we can take a closer look at these rosters. For Mary Washington, we have Matutu, Hikari, and Crazy TV for the side of Mary Washington.
On Florida Tech, we got Sloth. AIO is what I'm going to go with, but I'll probably fix that later on. Beast and Dask, I believe.
And just for everyone who wants to know, Mary Washington University is actually in contention for 4th place right now, whereas the side of Florida Tech is looking to secure the spot as 1st place. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, there are multiple teams in every single division right now that are tied for 1st, and Florida Tech is one of them. This is the 4th seed taking on the number 1 seed, number 1 in air quotes because no one is the decided 1st place victor just yet. But if you were to give advice to any of these teams, and you're not allowed to use the key points that I use at the start of the broadcast, I just made his brain hurt. What advice would it be?
I'm gonna go with quality touches, and there's one thing that I noticed in the last series that we had where the touches that were made were with the intent to get the ball around the opponent or to a teammate. So I think that's the biggest thing I'm going to go with is making your touches intentional so that way the ball can get to your teammate or get to the purpose of around the opposition players. We have A. I'm going to go with A here. Just to simplify it, is going to go for a quick little pass setup. Trying to find Beast, not able to do it. Onto elevates, get one touch. Sloth is able to slow it down just a bit. Kari was up, gets one touchdown into the corner here. Crazy's now up. Not allowed more than one. A only gets one. Up, Sloth down the backboard. Isn't able to get a touch. Matsu still causing trouble in the corner here. Akari gets one more touch. The defensive side for Florida Tech is holding strong as they're finally going to be able to get a clear here. Send it to the blue side. Matsu's going to quickly rebuttal that though. Is now up there looking for a shot opportunity. It's a bit low and going to be saved out by Beast.
Ball still in the defensive third for Florida Tech. A finds a clear, but Matu will elevate, whiffs on contact. Hikaru also whiffs. However, Matutu rekindles the flame, manages to bring it into the corner, is challenged by Beast. Ball's popped in the air. Hikaru is challenged by Sloth. Sloth dunks it down. Read by the defense, sent to midfield stripe. A will elevate. Matutu goes for the challenge, manages to get the ball to Hikari, who's across that stripe. Beast cuts in, steals it, gets two touches, gets booped away from possession. Hikaru will boop the ball and pop it up to midfield stripe. A will set it to the backboard. Sloth looks for the redirect down, but Matutu intercepts. Beast once again comes in, tries to set up the play. Crazy makes a save, sends it towards the side. A will challenge Crazy for possession. Crazy gives it to Matutu. Matutu pops it to midfield, crosses into defensive third of Florida Tech. Matutu off the backboard. Hikaru tries to come in for the shot, does not have the right angle. Ball is cleared to the defensive third for Mary Washington. Crazy sends it to Matutu. Ball has yet to be fully cleared out. Beast will elevate, does not make contact. Ball at the midfield stripe is pinched by A to the back wall for Mary Washington. Follow-up touch comes from Matutu, so defense manages to get possession for a moment. Ball crosses above their net. Hikaru off the back wall, snags it, has possession in the corner, looks for an opportunity to bring it to midfield. Is Crazy right now. Unfortunately, Beast cuts in, steals it again. We have to go from the back wall with Matutu.
Sloth trying to get a touch around Crazy, not able to quite do it though. Crazy with a good dunk. Now just causing a bit of chaos in the back line. Akari gets one more touch. Sloth to get a touchdown. Ooh. Nobody's sitting there waiting for that. Akari elevated, trying to get a touch from Beast. Not able to do it. Ao's going to get one more touch off the backboard here. Crazy now attempts to get a clear. Is able to do it. Gets the connecting pass to the car. Matu's there. Looking for a touch. Gets one off the sidewall. There is no Mary Washington offense, though, present. So let's get one more there. Sloth on the rotation back. Beast is the one to try to make a touch. Not able to quite get it going. Crazy to get it one over Sloth. An open net could be a possibility here. Crazy though gets blocked out by Beast. Aola off the sidewall gets the beautiful save. Matu's the one credited with the save. Sloth going backwards. Picked up Beast here. Gonna let Aola take over. Akari's gonna get one touch here. Sloth may be able to get one more. Sends it over to the blue corner here. Crazy gonna get one touch. We have a double commit from the side of Mary Washington here. Akari's going to get one touch, looking at a second off the backboard. Not able to quite do it. Beast may have a shot opportunity. Takes one, takes another. Not able to get it in though. The Sloth's going to take over now. Looking for something to happen off the ceiling here. Trying to find a teammate in the midfield. Beautiful control. The shot's a bit wide once again. Recentered. Crazy's the one to get the save. Akari is going to be credited with the clear. That's the third save for the Crazy there.
Matutu off the back wall, dunks it down to Crazy. Crazy brings the ball to midfield, popped up by Beast. Hikaru elevates, sends it back to mid. A off the wall, has it drop off the ceiling. Crazy pushes it forward, ends up with Sloth. Attempted save at mid, does not make contact. 50-50 goes in favor of Beast, who sends it to the defensive third. It is close to that goal line. Two defenders go flying in, collide with each other, stall out. Sloth goes for the kill shot and finds the back of the net.
Unfortunate little bit of 50 there. The double commit ends up just causing both of them to be stuck in the back of the net. Not able to cover in time. It's going to be Florida Tech going up 1-0 here with only 56 seconds left in the game. Not completely out of it considering it's only a one-goal lead, but the clock is definitely not on your favor anymore on the side of Mary Washington. Sloth's going to take a shot. Crazy does elevate. Able to get a touch. Alo is there to get one more. Akari trying to stick with the ball. Sloth is going to opt to go back for the defensive. Not able to go to get 50 on the sidewall there, but Beast is going to make up for it though. Gets a second touch. Gets it around two. Attempt to get the flick over Crazy. Crazy get one more touch. Trying to connect with Akari. Isn't able to do it. Matu sends it down. Crazy's up. May be able to get the angle. Not able to get the quality touch or the shot on net. The shot to the backboard is going to be carried out by ALO too.
Elevation from Sloth goes to AO on the wall, brings it around Matudu. Matudu is in front of AO creating pressure. We need to find a pass here. If you're rooting for Florida, they don't find it. Crazy dunks it to midfield. Instead, it's popped back into the defensive third for Mary Washington. Cleared back out to mid. Hikaru with possession. We have no time left on the clock. They got to keep this ball in the air. Mary Washington wants to tie this up to send us into overtime. AO tries to go for the aerial play coast to coast. It ricochets off the ceiling, hits the ground right in front of the Mary Washington net. Florida Tech walks away with the Game 1 victory.
Florida Tech walking away. A pretty close game nonetheless, 1-0 to keep it there. And on the side of accolades too, you know, I mean, obviously it could be a little bit of a glitch. Something's not showing up, but it really seemed kind of even that entirety of the game with not a whole lot of shots taken on net. Obviously not a lot of goals taken and a couple saves. I think Crazy had 3 of them at one point in that game. And that to me just lets me know that Mary Washington is defending the goal really well. They're just not able to put the shots back to contest with Florida Tech.
And then there was the one tragic double commit. Double commits do get punished.
Yeah.
That's why you always hear casters really crying to not see them. However, I think it does demonstrate the fact that this was a one-goal game, how close these teams are. Despite it being first versus fourth seed, there is so much contention for that first place seed. However, for the fourth place to be this close to first, as far as the skill level demonstrated in Game 1, means that there really isn't a whole lot of difference between our fourth seed to our first seed, meaning everyone who's tied for first right now cannot be saying that they are at a secure, safe position.
Oh, you never are. Anytime that you're in a tight spot, it's always one of those things where it's a sweaty endeavor, because even there's bound to be, especially like you said, 4 teams tied for first, there's bound to be some other team that is probably going to also win. So if then you get 2 or 3 teams that also end up staying tied at a 4-0 record, and Nakari started out fast, trying to get something to happen here. Beast was able to get the touch, make it happen off the crossbar. Is going to get a flick, trying to get over Crazy though, and a shot by Sloth is saved out by Matu. Also going to take possession of the ball, get a flick over Beast. Ayla was there to get a touch. Matu now trying to center it. Sloth overplays their cards though, but gets saved up by Beast. Ayla now up, gets up, trying to keep it going, gets a shot the back with there. Sloth might be able to cut, gets up. I believe did that backwards as well with quite a lot of power.
Take a look at the replay. AO off the back wall, Sloth, tag.
That was backwards, and I'm gonna give it to Sloth. That was quite a shot to get that much power off the backwards touches. Really good timing.
Panthers are now leading by 1. Not even full 30 seconds had gone by. Truly, as we have a battle for possession in the air, ball gets dunked down to Sloth, popped to Crazy. It's in the corner inside of Eagles defensive third, goes to midfield stripe. It's going to be Hikari with possession, pops it up over 1. Sloth will elevate, maintains possession, gets 1 touch, can't find the second, loses it on the ground. Crazy from the midfield stripe, tries to get it past Alo, cannot. Alo's touch sends it to Hikari in the back left corner of Mary Washington's defensive third. Sloth goes for a second touch to send it to Alo. Alo is racing to catch up to get possession of this ball in the corner. Crazy ends up with it, drops down to midfield stripe. Beast elevates, makes contact, plays it off the wall, ends back up with the Mary Washington players. Crazy takes the shot, it's deflected and saved by Alo.
Off the backward once again, Alo get another clear here. Akari gets a bit of a back touch over to Matu. Matu now trying to stick with it. Able to get 1 touch, does get stopped out by Beast though. Sloth might be looking to contest this ball, does elevate up. Akari now looking for a double, not able to quite do. Alo gets a clear into the midfield though. Matu once again to play for possession. Now off the side with their Sloth to elevate, gets 1 touch off the read. Crazy's now up, gets a beat. It's just Beast in the net right now. Might be outplayed, the flick past him. And Akari's gonna be there to play for the pass up. He's just get that flick over, and it's one of the situations where you have to decide to go with the ball or not. Unfortunately for Beast, the flick was well positioned enough to get the ball up and over.
We are now tied 1 side between the Panthers and the Eagles as we go into the next kickoff. Ball goes to defensive third for Mary Washington. Alo ends up making contact, shooting it towards the net. Hikari makes the save, pops the ball up, tries to get it around Sloth. Sloth snags it, pushes it forward to Crazy. Beast takes it from Crazy's rebound play, Ends up being shot towards Matudu, who clears it to midfield. Alo waited for the ball, brings it back to the defensive third for Mary Washington. Ricochets back out to midfield. Beast brings it to the back wall, plays it away from Crazy. High up against the back wall, sent to midfield, strike by Hikari. Alo once again sends it into the corner, plays it around Hikari. Matudu sends it to midfield, stripe. Beast is racing back. Hikari dunks the ball down, can't get it past Beast. Crazy comes in, trying to maintain possession for the side of Mary Washington. Sloth off the wall, does not make contact. Ball drops down. Matudu will elevate higher, gets it to Crazy. Crazy's up against the back wall, needs a teammate to come in to help out, and that teammate's Hikari. Looks like Sloth will find the clear to midfield. Crazy was waiting, sends it into the corner. Alo redirects. It's going to be Matudu to send it right back from the net. Another touch comes in from Crazy. Again, too wide for the back of the net.
They got to pinch to the sidewall here. Matu's the one to slow it down, but Alo has another touch into midfield here, waiting for Beast. And Beast was just lying in wait. A beautiful corner to the midfield pass there. Alo and Beast putting Florida Tech up one more goal here to take advantage, to take the lead with about a minute 56 seconds left in the game here. A lot more time for Mary Washington to come back here and put another goal on the board, which you see them able to do here. Alo's able to get a clear here, might be able to take advantage once again. Hikari was able to rotate back in time to get the save, but gets demoed for it. Nonetheless, Matu gets bumped a bit out of position. Crazy attempts to make a shot. Beast was in position to get a block, able to do it. Now Sloth looking for a solo play. Not a whole lot of boost nor elevation to stick with it. Alo tries to get a touch. The pass from Crazy to Matu, almost finding the perfect in-the-moment positioning. Alo now at the backboard to get a save, clear it over. Hikari to take possession of the ball, send it to the sidewall. Alo trying to make something happen off the ceiling. The pass is Sloth. Isn't going to go through. The shot off the backboard is going to be denied. Matu now has possession of the ball, looking for the pass in the midfield there. Beast is going to get it cleared, doing it backwards. Hikari now ping-ponging it back to Crazy. Crazy then trying to go for a double, gets bumped out the play, and Beast is going to be the one to clear it. Sent to the corner here. Not a whole lot of pressure being applied as the demo is going to clear up the net. Hikari gets, in my book, all the credit for that goal because Hikari made that net wide open for Crazy.
And then dives out of the way to make sure they don't accidentally prevent a goal for their teammate. And we are now tied to a side, just under a minute remaining for both these teams. Who's going to come out on top between the Eagles and the Panthers here in game number one? We've got 50 seconds to find out as two elevate. Crazy dunks the ball down, ends up with Sloth, but Sloth gets bumped by Hikari off the back wall. Matu tries to send it to Crazy. Crazy with possession at midfield, takes a couple touches, has a teammate, has Matu waiting for it. Alo will be the one to grab it instead. It's challenged by Matu, sent into the corner. Now it's back at the midfield stripe. Crazy tries to make contact, is pushed away instead. Hikari from defensive third, elevates with possession, brings it into the corner. Challenged by Sloth. Sloth sends it to mid. Matu reads it, drops it down. Crazy takes the shot. It's too wide. Three defenders are in the way of Mary Washington as Hikari tries to take another shot. It's deflected towards midfield stripe. Crazy gets the touch, sends it forward, but Beast finds it again. To elevate from Mary Washington, it hits the backboard. Follow touch from Alo. Secondary touch from Sloth. None make it into the back of the net. It's back at the midfield stripe. No time left, and we are in overtime.
Game number 2 of the series here. Florida Tech up 1 in terms of series games. And the 2-2 scoreline going into OT here. A touch into the midfield. Sloth is there to get the slightly powerful touch to find the back of the net, and that is Florida Tech now up 2-0 in the series. A double commit there by Mary University and not able to get a touch by either of those defenders. Unfortunate way to lose, especially so early into OT.
I mean, Hikari was demoed, so there was only 2 defenders left. You go to full forward assault in that instance. I mean, trying to defend a man down is always difficult, and so the overcommitment worked out in their favor in that instance. However, had that ball been saved and there was a breakaway, that sort of forward onslaught can get punished, but for now it works out in favor of the Panthers, and they're now at series point.
Oh yeah, 100%. And at that series point, and you got a 2-goal game deficit, and quite honestly, what disturbs me a little bit more was that bit of a double commit. Had one gone, I think they both came from the same angle either way. So it would have been tough, but that definitely gives you a better chance of when you don't double commit that somebody's able to get a touch, tap it, make it bounce off the crossbar, do something rather than just throwing the body, losing possession anyway. It's It's rough, but Mary University, quite honestly, isn't entirely out of it. They still only have one game left, though. This match point could be deadly for them. And Florida Tech's that team that's trying to win this. They want to get that #1 spot. They do not want to lose it. So there's a bit on the line. Mary University doesn't want to worsen the record, while Florida Tech, they want that #1 spot. You can tell they want it just by the way they're playing.
Right now is the opportunity for Florida Tech to close out this series in a 3-0 sweep. The question is, can they? As we have the ball played by Hikari, it gets sent straight to Beast in the air. Crazy will snag it when Beast loses possession. Sloth pushes it into the corner. Matu plays it off the wall to Hikari. Hikari takes a shot, and Alo makes a save. Follow-up touch from Crazy is deflected towards the corner. Matu is pushed off of possession. Alo is pushing forward as Crazy pushes Alo away. Sloth will elevate, play the ball into the corner. Still in the defensive third for Florida Tech. More time we've seen the ball over here than the majority of the series thus far, but there is a wide, far clear. It is saved off the back wall. Matsu will find the opportunity to break away, sending across midfield stripe. Has to beat Beast to possession, does, but the ball is elevating across and over the net to the other side. Sent to midfield stripe. Hikari is there. Will push it forward into the corner. Elevation from Alo and Crazy. Crazy makes a touch. The follow from Matsu is too high. The third touch from Hikari is going to be saved by Sloth. The fourth touch is challenged by Alo, and the ball dies down here in the corner for defensive third for the Panthers.
Only 2 shots for the side in terms of accolades for this side of Mary Washington, but this past minute has just felt like absolute unstoppable pressure that Mary Washington has put on the side of this red goal. And each and every time Florida Tech is able to answer with the save, it's just a matter of time if Mary Washington keeps putting shots on net that one will find the back of the net. Arlo is able to get a touch, send it to the corner, or the sidewall more like it. Sloth is able to get it clear. Now it's with the Beast. Beast trying to find somebody in the midfield here. Arlo take a shot, sends it a bit wide though. Now trying to find somebody off the sidewall after the elevation. Not able to do it. Sloth to send it back to the midfield. Arlo attempt to make a touch though, ends up just leaving for possession anyway. Leaving the possession. Oh, and a bump. A bit of a triple commit there from the side of Florida Tech. Not exactly, but technically in my book. Not punished, though, by Mary Washington here. Arlo attempting to get a second touch, though. Not able to do it. Not able to put themselves in a position here. Matu elevate, trying to get a touch. They may have overplayed their cards, and that is what's dangerous about that. Just one simple touch can be enough to just ruin that entire push, and that's exactly what happened in Florida Tech.
Ball was right at the top of the defensive third for Panther territory, and they managed to send a beamer of a shot across the midfield stripe. You could see the midfield controller, Crazy, was at the midfield line. These types of mistakes end up happening to everybody in Rocket League, but now they have to just turn this back around. That's the first goal we've had thus far. We're not even halfway through game number 3. So the Eagles still have an opportunity to reclaim this round and start a reverse sweep. The question is, can they? As the ball's in their defensive third, Panthers looking for an opportunity to set up a shot. Matu whiffs on contact. Follow-up shot from Alo is going to be stopped by Crazy. Another shot from Sloth, stopped by Hikari. Sloth demos Hikari in kind, plays it off the back wall. We have another demo onto Hikari again, who's just coming back from respawn and getting sent straight to the shadow realm. Ball is cleared to midfield stripe. Beast will pop the ball up. It'll be Matu to elevate, send to the side wall. Crazy is there as well with contact. Is almost bumped off, so Matu comes in to help out, sends the ball to Alo on the back wall in Panthers territory, brings it back to midfield stripe. Hikari is there for the challenge. Beast beats out any of Mary Washington's players. We have a demolition in front of the net on Crazy, and that is a goal for Florida Tech.
A little bit of a different team here that we're starting to see from Florida Tech. Alo, once again, I did the same thing for Hikari. You get full credit for that because that is a very simple save. But because Alo gets the demo there, the back of the net is completely wide open there. And now Florida Tech is up 2-0 here with about 1:50 left in the game right now. Hikari going up for the ball, attempt to get the flip reset off the ceiling. Alo gets some really good defensive touch there in a read. Send it off the back, but they're now credited with the second save. Sloth gets a touch, trying to send it to the corner of the net. Not able to do it though. It's saved out by Hikari. Beast to put another one on target. The demolition by Sloth takes out Crazy though. Even though they don't find any immediate effects, this could play some pretty big dividends in their counterattack ability. And Crazy with the beautiful dunk immediately puts Mary Washington right back into this game. Only a 1-0 difference in the scoreline now with, what, like 1:20 left?
Alo had gone to get the corner boost, wasn't able to rotate to the post fast enough. Mary Washington, the Eagles, they are in striking distance of Florida Tech. Kickoff goes in favor of Crazy. Can Crazy find contact to follow up? They will not. Hikari will take down Sloth instead, allowing Matu to cut in. Plays it into the corner, doesn't find the follow-up touch off the wall. Sloth pops the ball up. All three members of Florida Tech were very bunched up, so midfield control goes to Matu for a moment. Beast, who came forward, brings it to the back wall inside Mary Washington territory. Alo takes the shot. It's wide. Matu races for contact away from Sloth. Sloth pops it off the ceiling. Matu dunks it down. It goes to midfield. 50-50 challenge. Goes in favor of the Eagles. Off the wall, Hikari makes contact again. It's going to be Sloth waiting to gain possession. Pushes it forward. Crazy reads it, pops it up, but can't bring it forward. Matu will bring it the rest of the way to midfield. Crazy sends it to the wall. There are two Florida Tech members there. Ball drops down off of the ceiling. Hikari steals it away, brings it into the corner, slows down for a moment, allowing Sloth to cut in, steals the ball away. Crazy at midfield is trying to read where Sloth is sending the ball, steals it, pops it up, has to get it past Beast, does not. And the ball goes back to Matu, who's at midfield stripe.
About 20 seconds left after a pinch. Sends it back to the blue side, though. Hikari there to take a shot. It's a bit wide, though. Beast not able to get the save, though, but off of the touch.
Oh,
a pinch.
on,
Alo's credit with
on.
the save, and Matu is there to clean it up. And so much in the activity feed in the top right, though. A crazy, like, 5-second spree of just action right there. And it is now tied up. Mary Washington equalizes the game with 11 seconds here. And now we're at the kickoff, though, but Florida Tech could have the opportunity to make a comeback here and put one more on the board to send themselves into a Game 3 victory. Matu to take one touch into the midfield. Alo get one touch. Beast now to send it to the net.
No way.
Wow! And a beautiful redirect off of a corner touch. And that is going to be Florida Tech taking Game 3 and the series along with it. Still contending for that #1 spot.
I mean, there's 1 second left.
There is 1 second left, so I guess it's
There's
never
2
back
seconds.
down, never what,
No,
right?
there's 1 second. There's 1 second. Yep, and that'll be Florida Tech walking away with a Game 3 victory in a 3-0 sweep. So congratulations to the Panthers. The Eagles definitely fought hard. Game number 3, you could see that they were trying everything in their arsenal to bring that back in their favor. Nonetheless, it looks like LCQ might be the best way for them to go. It's not the easiest, but it's still another opportunity. You have to just keep looking for what's next, and that's going to be it for those two teams. Panthers, you're still in contention for that first place spot, but there's a lot of other scary teams that are also looking for that opportunity to crown themselves #1 in your division. So best of luck regarding everybody that is fighting for that first place spot. That just sounds stressful in my opinion, but nonetheless, good luck to all of you. With that being said, we'll take a quick break here and we'll hop into more Rocket League action just a little bit. So enjoy these top 5s to look back on how the last game went down. And the top 5s brought to us by Mavic Gaming Chairs. Mavics, feel the difference. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here with more Rocket League in just a little bit.
There's one thing that I noticed in the last series that we had where the touches that were made were with the intent to get the ball around the opponent or to a teammate. So I think that's the big deal. And up, gets up. Trying to keep it going, gets a shot the back where their Sloth might be able to cut. Gets up, I believe did that backwards as well with quite a lot of power.
Take a look at the replay. AO off the back wall. Sloth. Tag.
That was going to be the one to clear it. Sent to the corner here. Not a whole lot of pressure being applied as the demo is going to clear up the net. Hikari gets, in my book, all the credit for that goal because Hikari made that net wide open for Crazy.
And then dives out of the way to make sure they don't accidentally prevent a goal for their teammate.
Punished, though, by Mary Washington here. Arlo attempting to get a second touch, though. Not able to do it. Not able to put themselves in position here. Matu elevates, trying to get a touch. They may have overplayed their cards, and that is what's dangerous about that. Just one simple touch can be enough to just ruin that entire push, and that's exactly what happened afterwards.
Panthers territory brings it back to midfield stripe. Hikari's there for the challenge. Beast beats out any of Mary Washington's players. We have a demolition in front of the net on Crazy, and that is a goal for Florida Tech.
A little bit of a different team here that we're starting to see from Florida Tech. Alo once again, I did the same thing for Hikari. You get full, put one more on the board to send themselves into a Game 3 victory. Matu to take one touch into the midfield. Alo get one touch. Beast now to send it to the net.
Way. lines. Two defenders go flying in, collide with each other.
Did that backwards as well with quite a lot of power. They passed him, and Akari's going to be there. It's up midfielder waiting for Beast, and Beast was just lying in as the demo is going to clear up the net. A touch into the midfield. Sloth is there.
Welcome back to the NACE Starleague studio. We've got one more Rocket League game for you tonight. George Mason versus Siena Heights. It's the Patriots versus the Saints. Not an NFL game, surprisingly. It's actually Collegiate Rocket League. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, joined by Artemis Ring, calling all the action for you tonight. And Artie, I gotta say, for the one match that you didn't cast, you missed out on everything else that you've been here to cast. Has been a 3-0 sweep. So I would wager that you probably are wanting to see a close match.
I mean, yeah. As much as some people might hate it, I enjoy it, especially in terms of Rocket League. In other games, because there's so much variation that occurs, not so much. But Rocket League is definitely the match where I'm like, let's go full 5 series, give everyone the maximum amount of time to adjust, fix things, figure out what's going wrong, be dominant, get their booties kicked, come back and be a more equal game.
Well, let's take a look at how things have gone so far today in the schedule and what led up to this match. We started out with Oklahoma Christian versus Colorado College. That one was 3-0 sweep. And then the match of the night, Rochester Institute of Technology going up against Thomas. Thomas pulled it out in spectacular fashion in Game 5. Then we went on to Mary Washington versus Florida Tech. That one was a clean sweep as well. And now we go on to George Mason versus Siena Heights. Now, Siena Heights, in their division right now, is currently undefeated. And much like the teams in round 2, it's a perfect undefeated. In fact, they haven't dropped one game thus far. No overall matches and no games in those matches have been lost. They have done clean sweeps all the way through.
Personally, I think that can be a double-edged sword. Like, you have to maintain this undefeatedness, or you start to be disappointed in your performance, or you lose one game and then you really start to feel bad about your gameplay.
And we're going to be starting things out on George Mason's side. We've got Shank, Perks, and Eli.
And for the side of the Siena Heights, we've got XL.
Sorry.
Oh, apologies. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Elite, not. I just noticed that there. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Apologies to Elite.
We have Corrupt, Bob, Ben, and XL.
I like that. Bob and Ben. I always love simple gamer tags.
Well, it's going to be either Bob or Ben in, not both of them.
Okay, it might be Bob or Ben.
So, unfortunately, you only get one of the two out of the Bob or Ben squad. Not both of them. Though, theoretically, we could see it if maybe game 1 really doesn't go well and one player's just like, yo, I'm tilted. We have both of the B squad in. We'll have to wait and see. Not a legitimate B squad, but out of Bob and Ben. They might both be in at the same time. We'll have to wait and see as we're about to kick off game number 1 of this best of 5 series. Patriots taking on the Saints.
All right, let's see how this final match of the night ends. George Mason is currently sitting at 3rd in their division, so considering the top 2 teams go on to playoffs, this is a very important match for them. Mason versus Siena Heights is going to start off with Elite getting a save. He is going to take it, try to center it. His shot's going to get denied. Ben elevates up. Shot is high off the backboard. Will a follow-up come through from the Patriots? Doesn't quite. Instead, the ball goes off to the side. Perks gets a touch on it. That's denied. Taking it all the way back over toward the goal. Shot clear, high up in the air. Shot is going to be denied by George Mason.
Ooh.
Get him on to Perks.
Exo in the corner. He's going to have to battle for possession. Maintains it. Drops it to Bob at midfield. It pops it up. It's going to be Perks to elevate. Gets a couple of touches, but Ben steals it away. Ben sends it over to Bob. Bob and XL both go for the commit for contact. Now Elite TV pops it up above themselves, brings it to midfield. Perks cuts in, has the opportunity to take a shot on net. It's too far to the left, and Bob slows the ball down. Challenged by Shank. Shank overdrives, forced to rotate back. Elite goes for a challenge against Bob. Bob carries it past one, dunks it down past Perks, and Bob finds the first goal for George Mason.
Well, of course, we were thinking it was going to be Bob or Ben, but both of them are in the match right now. Bob just having an amazing air dribble right into the center of George Mason's goal. Siena Heights, the Saints, off to a good start, 1-0.
Off kickoff, Bob plays it to the wall. Ben and XL both go for the chase. Bob will elevate off. Nope, neither of the elevations end up making contact. Shank plays it off the wall to a teammate. Perks now in the air, has 2 to beat out, loses possession to XL on the back wall. XL takes multiple touches in the air, challenged by Shank. Bob on the ground, goes for the challenge against Shank again. Elite KB has the ball stolen away by Ben. Shank pops the ball to midfield stride. Bob will elevate, sends it across. XL will dunk it down towards the net. It ricochets back up in, and that's another goal for the side of Siena Heights.
That's just great teams work right there off the edge of the wall. Also, because all of the letters are capitals, I believe that's XI.
Is it?
Yes, because all the names in the overlay are capital. Or above the players, I say, in the game are capital, so I do believe that's
you're right.
XI.
It's
Bob
XI.
with another shot, though. I mean, he doesn't need XL or XI. Whoever he is, Bob can just do all the work on his own. Nice shot. Left side, almost deflected there. That was a great attempt by George Mason to try to save that, but it was just a little bit too late.
Kickoff goes in favor of George Mason. Perks in the corner, plays it, tries to get it around Bob, can't, and it pinches towards Ben. Ben drops the ball. Shank steals it away for a moment, but Ben cuts back in front. Perks steals it away from Ben, brings it into the corner. XI elevates, can't make contact. Bob instead off the back wall, sends it across the midfield straight, but there's no one home from Siena Heights in that area, so Shanks with possession. One of the Siena Heights members tries to steal it and says it's going to be Bob to come in and take it away. Bob plays it around, ends up off the ricochet. Bob and Ben both take shots. Neither one go in. Ben takes out Elite in return. XI from midfield has the 50-50 pinch. It goes to Shank. Bob will elevate. XI also elevates, but Ben comes in. There's a demo onto a defender. The ball's right in front of the net, but Shank will make the clear. Bob is racing back and gets demo. Ball rolls in off of Shank's clear, and that is another goal for Siena Heights.
Oftentimes when we think of demo goals, it's taking out the goalie, but just anyone who might have the opportunity to influence the shot, that'll work too.
George Mason, apologies. That's George Mason's first goal.
Still a pretty healthy lead, though, for the Saints. This next kickoff, Ben tries to take it, but Perks has the shot. Bob is going to follow up. Shank's going to get a touch on it. It heads over to the side. Ben wins that 50, is going to set it up for G. Oh, it doesn't go in.
Ooh.
That was just by the skin of their teeth they saved it.
Elite flicks the ball forward. Bob sends it to the sidewall. A 50-50 doesn't favor really anybody. Goes back to the midfield into Patriots territory. Elite tries to take the ball away from Bob. Bob reads the rebound play, gets it again. XI comes in. It's pinched back towards midfield, striped into Saints territory. Ben goes for the challenge, does not make contact. XI moving forward, brings it to midfield stripe. Both XI and Bob back off. Bob in the corner gets one touch, gets two, has XI to give to. XI takes the shot, saved by Perks, popped up inside defensive third for George Mason. Off the back wall, Elite stalls out, realizing if I hit that, it goes in, allowing Shanks to make the clear to midfield stripe, but it ends up going to Ben in the defensive third for the Saints territory. Ben gets it past Elite, goes to Shanks, Shanks to Perks, Perks to the back wall. XI reads it, drops the ball down, but it ends up going with the Patriots' possession. Elite takes the shot, and that is putting George Mason just one behind the Siena Heights Saints.
You see the rotation from Bob is too late. He can't get back to the goal. G also tried to take it through a rotation through front post. Both of them just couldn't make it.
1 minute, 3 seconds left.
Ooh.
Bob immediately getting a demo onto Elite. Perks gets a touch on it. Bob responds, goes for the air dribble, gets the flip reset, keeps on going, but isn't able to drive it all the way toward the goal. Shot now dropping down. Can the Patriots clear this? Shank doesn't get the touch he wanted. Now Siena Heights setting it up for Bob. Oh, it goes off the backboard. Oh, man.
Ben in the air, gets a few touches, pinches it off the ceiling, will lose possession, so G comes in, plays it forward, Shank pops it up, it goes to midfield stripe, plays it off the wall, but can't, took too long, Bob stole it away, it's in the corner. Perks with possession. Perks has three defenders closing in on their position. Bob from the air sends it to Ben from the air, sends it to Bob on the wall. Bob takes a shot, Shank makes the save. G comes in, sends it to Bob, who's waiting right at the top of the goal box, plays off the back wall, 5 seconds remaining. And there's another touch, hits the crossbar. Shank to midfield, ball's on the ground. Sienna Heights walks away with a Game 1 victory.
Well, it's a victory. Sienna Heights maintains their perfect score, but it probably isn't as comfortable as Sienna Heights was hoping for. The main thing is, even though George Mason had 3 shots on goal, 2 of them went in. So overall, I mean, George Mason didn't quite get too many opportunities for shots on goal, but when they did, they capitalized on them. So I'm thinking mainly it's an issue of them trying to find a way to clear more effectively.
I also think possibly getting in the passing lanes from the Saints would be beneficial. We see a lot of opportunities where the Saints have each other in close range and they're just able to do a quick give and go when pressure is recognized on one of their teammates, and they put themselves in those positions where they can make the receive. So if you start recognizing, hey, this player in front of me doesn't have pressure, and you apply pressure to that person, even if they don't have ball possession, it makes those passes a whole lot harder.
All right, we're going into Game 2, Saints versus Patriots. Saints currently lead 1-0. Looking to go to match point if they win this and end the night out quickly. They maintain their spotless record. Or will George Mason, the Patriots, be the first to take a victory or a game around away from the Saints? We're all loaded in, ready to head off to Game 2. First kickoffs in favor of Ben. Perks off to the side is gonna touch it back. Bob passes. And it's set up off the backboard and down in. He was his own follow-up. Sienna Heights goes to 1-0.
The ball pops up from Bob. He says, I'll take it the rest of the way. Dunks it down off the backboard. Even Bob was there, if needed, to boost in and get the follow-up touch. But G said, I don't need it.
Perks just getting the last touch on that kickoff. It's going to gain a bit of territory for the Patriots. Shank keeps the clear from going through. Bows! Yeah, that 50 was very close. George Mason still manages to maintain side control. Demo onto Perks by Bob. Elite hits it off the wall, goes over toward G. Perks gets 1 touch on it. Not going to go for the second, but Bob is right there to find the save. Pass to Ben, now back over to Bob. Double commit by George Mason to try to respond. Shank going to ground the ball. Ben now comes up, going for the goal, and it's saved by Perks.
Bob interrupts Perks' possession. G comes in to pass back to Bob. Bob loses the ball off shot. G dunks it down. Bob takes another shot. Perks makes the save, but the ball's not cleared out of the defensive third of Patriot territory just yet. 2-on-1 in the corner. Ben isn't even going to be able to elevate in time to make contact. Bob whiffs on contact as well. G at the midfield, and a 2-on-1 onslaught yet again brings it into the corner. Plays it off the wall. Dodges one. Dodges another. Takes a slight touch. Leaves the ball for Ben, who carries it past Elite. Takes a shot on goal. Shank saves it from the corner post.
Shank sets the play up for Perks. The ball is going to go high off the backboard. G gets a shot back toward midfield. Demo is going to be placed onto him. As George Mason, the Patriots go fighting back. Bounce it off the corner to center it. Sienna Heights runs right into them. G is going to pass the ball over to Bob, keeping it away from the Patriots, making sure they're not going to get a chance at an equalizing shot. Ball's way off to the other side of the field where Bob is waiting. Spots his course, is able to juke it around one. And it's set up for G, but Shank gets there before the shot can go through. Sienna Heights is going to be held to only 1 goal.
Shank is in front of all of the defenders for Sienna Heights. Plays it, perfectly to Elite to take the final shot in. That's the first goal for the Patriots. Shank was in front of everybody with that breakaway. Saw the teammate. I mean, you're borderline flat with the goal. No way you're going to make that one in unless you get the follow-up touch. George Mason with their first one on the board. We're not even at halfway point yet.
G with the shot off the kickoff. A lot of ground gain for Sienna Heights. They take a shot right off of it. Saved by Perks. Bob off the wall. Taken away by Shank. Up the field. G gets a touch on it, but runs right into Elite. Saved by Ben. He's going to follow that up. Going for the flip reset. Doesn't quite get it. Bob goes back over toward G. Now G takes it, trying to dribble it toward the goal. Double commit on the save. It still goes through from Shanks, but it is punished by Bob, who lobs a big Bob bomber right into the goal.
This is what I wish we had captions for what the casters were saying. Oh, okay, so now Sienna Heights, Sienna Heights is now leading by 1. We are past the halfway point. George Mason with 1 on the board, still in striking distance and equalizing this game as we have Shank getting struck and out of the game for a couple of moments as G carries the ball forward, plays it past 1. Dumps it down past Shank. Perks comes in at the nick of time, plays it to the corner, brings it to midfield. Bob intercepts. Ben tries to redirect. They collide with one another. Elite racing to beat G to possession. G in the corner, plays it to Bob. Bob pops it out, has Ben to play pass, is going to send it to midfield stripe, but Perks read it, waited there. G plays it again to the corner. Shank goes in for the shot. Perks pushed Ben out of the way, but Ben circumvents the aggression, brings it back to midfield. Stripe looks to drop it down past Shank, but Shank sends it to midfield stripe where G will pop it up, and it'll be Elite to respond and bring it back to mid.
Bob now rotating over, reads that shot perfectly, finds the save. Now off the wall, he goes for the dribble. G to redirect, it's just above the goal. Doesn't find it, 1 minute, 20 seconds left. And only a 1-goal lead. Perks trying, he whiffs on the centering. It's gonna give Bob and G the opportunity to try to clear it. It's played over them. Ben has to come in, play cleanup off the wall, just playing it above Shank. Still runs into Perks. Sienna Heights struggling to find a clear. G pass over to Ben. They've made it past midfield. Bob comes in off the corner. Just over Bob. Elite gets a touch on it, and now double commits. Perks is going to be able to get the touch on the ball. It's set up for Elite, though. They've recovered beautifully, and they get the equalizer.
Tied to a side with 44 seconds remaining right now. Sienna Heights is leading in the series. They took game number 1. They're trying to take game number 2 to put themselves at serious point, but the Patriots are here to say that we are here to stay, and they are trying to win game number 2 to set us into a best of 3.
Bob gonna get the better of that kickoff, leaving it open
No
for G
way.
right off of it. Oh my goodness, just 3 seconds and the Saints are back in the lead. That was a beautiful cheat by G. That's exactly why you want to position yourself like that, just in case a golden opportunity arises.
Next kickoff, it's Bob to make the best contact. However, ricochets forward. G comes in. It's at midfield. Pinch to Bob. Bob tries to send to Ben. Ben doesn't make contact. Elite with possession. Flicks it to Shank. Shank does not make contact on the aerial. Ben pushing forward. Bob goes for the challenge from Perks. Perks plays it off the back wall. Follow touch from Elite.
Whoa!
Makes the save, but Perks comes in for the tertiary shot, and we're tied 3 aside. 20 seconds on the board.
Oh boy, we're having game 1 replay all over again, where it's just a shot matched for match. Sienna Heights, can you get back into the lead? You got 20 seconds to do so. Bob is going to push it off to the side. Ben to follow up. A touch is secured by the Patriots. Trying to disrupt. Bob is going to push a shot onto the goal. Perks pushes it off to the side. Follow up now by G, and the demo to clear out the goal by Bob. Beautifully played.
Now, if Colin were still here, he'd say that that was all Bob.
Well, yeah, I mean, it left it wide open. Perks was still there, but man, that's some great teamwork. I love seeing a demo be that well coordinated.
I'm getting faces from Colin, but I'm going to speak for him and say yes, that was all Bob. As we go into the next kickoff, 5 seconds remaining. There's another demo onto Bob. Now it's going to be G from midfield, pops the ball up, plays it off the back wall. Shank makes contact, slowing the tempo of the ball. It drops down. Sienna Heights. That's game number 2, and it goes straight to you.
G had the most shots on goal, but Bob was just all around a great assist, had demos right when the team needed it. Perks also kept George Mason in the game. 4 saves for that round. So sometimes Perks and Shanks, it was really George Mason's defense that really kept them in this match till the very end.
Also, Sienna Heights, they overcommit quite frequently, and we do see instances where the Patriots are recognizing this. George Mason sees it. They go for those opportunities. They took them multiple times. This is why this game was so close. It's just there was one extra instance, i.e. the kickoff play coming from G, that put them ahead by 1.
Well, in our Patriots-Saints matchup, Saints stand at match point, looking to continue on their perfect season. Can they secure it? Should they win this, they will go up to 4-0 for their entire season. Should be pretty indestructible from that point in making their way toward playoffs. We have 2 or 3 weeks left. Some of these schools have 3 matches left, some of them have 2 matches left. We're closing in toward the end of the regular season.
Yeah, some schools have yet to have their bye week, and those are coming up for them, so hopefully it doesn't end up being a double-edged sword, getting a break, but then also getting a little rusty in that time as we have Bob go to Ben off the wall. Ben off the wall, tries to go to Bob, I think, but either way it gets cleared. Bob off the back wall, makes contact, challenged by Shank, but G comes in to try and force the offense off of their teammate. Instead, Shank cuts back in again, takes the first shot. That is goal number 1 going to the Patriots.
That's a good start for them. They have mostly been trailing throughout the match, so maybe starting off on the right foot, giving themselves a little bit momentum, will push themselves into a good state of mind. Ben gets a shot off to the side, is going to center it. Elite tries to elevate up, but G just at the very last moment deflects it right down into the goal. Look at this. Perks tries to elevate up, and G comes in, just raises the ball. But those few pixels that made contact were enough to push it into the goal. Now the Saints have tied things back up.
So little time has elapsed, we might as well still be at the very beginning anyway. So you're 0-0 once again. G challenges, pops the ball up, but it goes to Shank. Shank does not make contact. It's going to be Ben coming through, has to challenge Elite at the goal line. Shot will not be making it in. Ben will redirect towards the side. Bob makes contact off the wall, plays around Perks, but Elite will set it to the side. G is waiting, steals it away. Is it a 2-on-1 onslaught? If he can barrel roll, he does. G finds another goal for the Siena Heights team.
And it's gotten much in the same way, too. He's having to use the side of his car to just graze the ball and push it in. But he's proven himself effective in that regard, and now the Saints are back up to a lead. A minute has passed. It's 2-1, Saints lead. Bob gets the first touch on that kickoff, but the lead is right there. G now keeps the play going. He's going to look to center it. He runs into a bit of interference, then tries to get control of the ball back. Elite is going to play it off the wall for the clear. Moving up the field, G now has to go up against Elite and Perks. Shank is going to be the one to take the shot on the goal. G is right there to save it, and it's centered again. Elite, quick shot onto the goal. Bob can't make it in time.
G had the clear. Perks stole it from Bob. Perks passes it back to Elite, who came in from the midfield as Shank was getting ready to rotate back. Now, just a 1-goal differential with plenty of time left for this to go either way.
Shot by Ben is going to head right into Shank. Bob is there to get the save, but still pressure is being applied to the Saints by the Patriots. Ben off the wall. Oh, didn't have anyone to pass to. Instead, he passed right into the open arms of Shank, and Demo's being traded back and forth off of the post. There was no goalie there for the Saints. Now they're going to fight back, but that was extremely dangerous. G now setting it up. The follow-up not going to be taken by either Bob or Ben. They're back off getting boost. Bob and Ben need boost.
Oh, we have G go for the challenge. Ben comes in, brings it down into the corner. Perks tries to clear. It is stopped short by Ben. Perks bringing it up almost to midfield. Challenge by G. G off the nose, leaves it for Bob. Bob off the back wall, goes for the follow-up touch. Looks like 2 defenders managed to put a stop to that attack coming from Bob. Ben goes for the secondary attempt. G stops the ball midfield from Shank's clear. It's going to take it off the wall. Loses possession. Perks comes forward, pushes it, but it's going to be Bob at midfield to send it right back. Elite to Shank. Shank to the mid. Ben elevates with the ball. Ball, Ben, and Bob. Too many B's. Now I have Elite to clear the ball. Goes to Shank. Shank takes the shot. It hits the top crossbar. It's popped up by Perks. Hits the ceiling. Drops out of mid. Bob takes the shot. It's going to hit the back wall. Follow up from Ben. It's going to be saved by Perks. Back to the midfield stripe. Shank in possession.
Shot. Oh, I thought for sure that was at the crossbar. Oh, from the camera angle I saw, Shank just lobs a bomber from midfield right over G, above Bob and into the goal. Now George Mason takes a very crucial lead. What could be the start of a reverse sweep, but we still have 2 minutes to go. It's still anyone's game.
Ben off the ceiling tries to give it to Bob. Shank read the attempted play, interfered just enough, but G plays it off the walls. Ben pushes the defender into the back of the net and says, "You are not here to make the save." And that's another goal over to the Saints. Is that an all Ben goal?
It's
Yes.
a big Ben bump.
According to Colin, this is all Ben.
Nice job. It's always great. You know, sometimes it's a demo, sometimes it's a bump, but at the end of the day, it's disruption for their defense. And I'm surprised Sierra Heights didn't take any interest in that ball. That was open for a while. Shank now takes it off the ceiling. He's going to push it back to mid. Perks with the redirect, way over to the other side, but it's still forward progress for the Saints. Bob comes in before Elite, now pushing it off the ground. Shank gets one touch on it, follow up by Ben, gets it, and the Saints are back in the lead.
At this point, I can say that this lead is not enough to secure the victory.
No, it's not safe.
Nowhere near, because of how back and forth these goals have been. We still have over a minute remaining, and we've seen a disgusting amount of goals today scored within a minute's time. As we go to the next kickoff, it's going to be G and Elite. Elite gets the better touch, but Ben has the better of the follow-up. Shank is pushed off of possession. Ooh, Perks came in and took a shot. It was saved by Bob. Shank in the corner has Bob and G come in to create pressure. Tries to lob the ball to Elite, who leaves it for Perks, but Ben cuts in to make a save off Perks' shot. Plays it off the wall, leaves it for Bob, who's going to bring it across midfield stripe. Challenged by Elite. Elite steals it away, gets it over Bob. Tries to pop it over G. G reads it, sends it to the corner where Ben is at. Ben challenged by another George Mason Patriot. Pops the ball to G. We have Perks demo Bob. Right now it's an opportunity for the Patriots to make a play, but the respawn has occurred, and the ball's in the defensive third for the Patriots.
Bob elevates, wins at 50, plays it around Perks, but Shank is right there. Then pushes it back over toward Bob in midfield. Bob, pass over to G. Gonna take it up into the crossbar. Is there a follow-up? There isn't. Shank now, huge bomber back over toward the Saints. A lot of ground gained back on them with just 20 seconds left. Shot not gonna be placed on goal. That is a great shot by G at the right time. It's not enough to bail them out. There is still a chance for a follow-up from the Patriots. But Bob reads the shot, pushes it back. And I think that just might be enough to put the Saints toward victory if they can just ground the ball here, which they do. They continue on their perfect season. Another 3-0. The Saints have not dropped one game of one round at all this season. And next week, we'll see if they can do it yet again.
We get it. They sound like Mom's favorite. I'm totally kidding. Congratulations, Siena Heights, on yet another perfect 3-0 sweep.
Although I do have to say, the one thing that I do wish that Siena Heights did wrong is that I wish that they would change G's name to Bill. Because then if we had Bob, Ben, and Bill, then we'd have triple B power, and then nothing would ever stop them.
Okay, well then earlier we had chicken and chili, and the third one needs to be spicy.
That's true. I would just say, we just give suggestions here. Siena Heights, you can take it or leave it. But I'm sure you'll take that victory that you just got. And we want to thank everyone for joining us, and also giving a general shout out to all of our sponsors: Truth, Extra Life, Duncan, Monster, and Odyssey Elixir. But that is just going to about do it for us today. Mostly sweeps, except for a very exciting game, too. That's got to be probably in the running for my favorite game of the year. It was just that good. But if you want to see more great games like that, then join us next week at the same time for more Rocket League. And tomorrow we will have Overwatch for you. So always be sure to check back into NACE Starleague. But for now, though, we'll sign off and leave you with some highlights brought to you by Mavix. Feel the difference. Have a good night. All right, let's see how this final match of the night ends. George Mason is currently sitting at third in their division, so off to the side is gonna touch it back. Bob passes, and it's set up off the backboard and down in. He was his own follow-up. Siena Heights goes to 1-0.
The ball pops up from Bob. He says, "I'll take it the rest of the way." Dunks it down.
Bob goes back over toward G. Now G takes it, trying to dribble it toward the goal. Double commit on the save. It still goes through from Shanks, but it is punished by Bob, who lobs a big Bob bomber right into. Bob gonna get the better of that kickoff, leaving it open for G right off of it.
Oh my goodness, just 3 seconds and the Saints are back in the lead. That was a beautiful cheat by G. That's exactly why.
Shank does not make contact on the aerial. Ben pushing forward. Bob goes for the challenge from Perks. Perks plays it off the back wall. Follow touch from Elite.
Whoa!
Makes the save, but Perks comes in for the tertiary shot, and we're tied 3 aside, 20 seconds on the board.
Oh boy, we're having game 1 replay all over again.
Touch is secured by the Patriots. Trying to disrupt. Bob is going to push a shot onto the goal. Perks pushes it off to the side.
Follow up now by G, and the demo to clear out the goal by Bob. Beautifully played.
Now, if Colin were still here, he'd say that that was all Bob.
Well, yeah.